The crowd recording won't throw an error from the replay.
Okay, so I have 7 o'clock, Tammy. We'll call the meeting to order. Start with previous minutes. Keep in mind, we are looking at 2 sets of minutes. I don't have the calendar in front of me.
I make the
16th
motion
and
to accept the minutes for
9th.
January 9th as presented. And I make a motion also to accept January 16th minute meetings as presented.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the meeting minutes from January 9th and 16th as written. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed?
And we're unmuted. Okay.
Finances, we are going to, well, that's gonna be the last half, 3/4 of this meeting anyway, so we're gonna skip over that for now. Any others in that section of consent agenda? I don't believe there would be. Moving to visitors. Deanna Robitelli here.
Deanna?
I don't see her. She was
Oh, hang
here
on a
to
minute.
discuss.
Sue may know something.
Yep, she does.
Sue?
That's her.
Yeah,
wheelhouse.
can you hear me?
Yep.
We can.
Okay, she was supposed to be on the Zoom call, so I'm gonna give her a call and see if she'll get on it.
All right, so
Excellent. We'll skip down to the next one on the agenda and we'll swing back when she's here.
Okay,
Perfect. Next on the list.
that may be her now.
Oh, maybe here. Hang on. Let's see who we got.
You. Deanna, here she is here.
Okay.
I think that's his.
Sorry, Paul, get your hopes up.
Here comes Deanna now, Sue. You don't have to call her.
All right. Deanna, you were just in time. We just called your name, so. You are muted though. Sorry.
Is that better?
Much better.
Okay.
So we are looking to get on the list or get the list for people to come and do our reappraisal. And we're told that you are the one to talk to.
Sure. Yeah. So I came, I guess it's been a few months now. And I believe that I shared at that time or shortly thereafter a list of resources on our website with Sue and her co-listers. We have a list of approved appraisers, which include firms and project managers. So you wouldn't necessarily have to contract with an entire firm. That opens up the options a little bit more. But the reality of things is that there really aren't a lot of options, particularly in Northern Vermont. The contractors are spread pretty thin, and we're expecting to send out close to 100 new reappraisal orders in July. So getting out ahead of that next group that sends out those RFPs is probably in your best interest. That way you can lock in something in your schedule or their schedule sooner. Doesn't necessarily mean you need to do it next year. I can guarantee you're not going to find someone to do it in the next 2 years. You're probably looking at a 2025, 2026. I've actually seen some as far out as 2027, which is just the reality of the beast at this point until we can get more contractors to come into the state. But the good news there is that it gives you more time to build up the money to pay them to do the work. So
And
I can help Sue get in touch with those folks.
Okay, that would be great. One of the questions that was brought up and we didn't really have any answers to is what is, again, I'm not asking you to be dead on, but a ballpark figure as to what we should expect this to cost the town.
Interestingly, a couple of years ago, I was seeing it come in around $120 per parcel, but I think the average right now is about $100 per parcel. which kind of goes against the concept of supply and demand, but we'll take it. So if you can lock in a contract sooner than later, it's also probably going to get you a better price. And Sue, how many taxable parcels do you have? I think it's around 700.
That's 700, yep.
That's 700, yeah. So you're looking at about 70,000 for the full reappraisal through the contractor. I would also encourage you to add an extra 10 to 15% on your lister budget for that year and probably the year prior, because there's a lot of legwork that the listers need to do to get that set up. So we wouldn't want to, you know, overspend your regular budget.
Okay. And what is the next step to getting on the list so that we can, like, as you say, get ahead of the curve here?
Sure. Sue, did you end up sending out any RFPs? I feel like you said you did and you got one response.
No, we have not done that yet.
You have not. Okay. I'm sorry. A lot of towns are in this situation, so I confused you guys. I apologize. So we'll get what we call a fishing letter or an RFP out to the contractors, send them a copy of your 411 so they can get an idea of what the composition is of your town inventory, and then see who comes to the table. I would always caution if you get more than one offer or response, not to go with the lowest, which is, you know, sometimes it makes sense, but usually if you can get, you know, somewhere in the middle, you want to make sure you get a contractor that's going to work well with your listers too, because that's a big part of what they're doing. They have to work in conjunction with the listers. So it may not be the least expensive option, but it'll be the best product when you're done.
Perfect. Any other questions from the remainder of the board?
No.
No?
No.
All right. Thank you very much for that. And I think this directly aligns with what Sue had told us before. And this will help us move on to the next step. Thank you very much.
All right. And I believe I left my cards there when I came in person, but any of you are certainly welcome to reach out to me at any time. That's what I'm here for.
Perfect.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Sue, did you want me to stay on for the articles discussion?
Sue may be frozen.
Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go.
Yep.
I'm not sure what you're talking about, Deanna, exactly.
Well, we had emailed back and forth and had some discussion about having some articles on the annual meeting warning. I didn't know if you needed me to stay to support anything there or answer any questions.
Yeah, we discussed that at the last select board meeting.
Okay.
And we prepared the articles and they are going to go follow through with it.
Yeah, we
All
have
right.
those are right here.
Okay.
Are these numbers still accurate, Sue? The $15,000 transfer, is that accurate? That's pretty much the only one we're really.
Yeah, it's transferring what's in the grand list fund to the reappraisal fund, and I haven't seen the latest amount, so I'm
Okay.
not too sure about that.
Okay. So we may word that instead of putting a dollar amount, we may word that as remaining funds in the grand list.
That makes very good sense.
Okay, perfect. Any other questions? No?
Yeah.
Thanks again.
All right. You're welcome. Take care, everyone.
You
Thanks,
too.
Deanna.
All right. You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Where'd that go?
Now, Paul, you're all set.
Can you hit the, excuse me, can you hit the button that says push? Make the green light bright. and-
Down by your thumb. There you go.
Right there. There we go. Okay. 4th of July. I wanted to see what you folks are thinking with that event. The fire department is willing to move forward with pretty much the same format as we did last year. And not do any parade. So wanted to bring this up now so that we could get it on as a line item for town meeting. And had worked through a little bit of a budget. The fireworks was thinking we should put those in at 4,000 this year. We ran a little bit short last year, but the Larry and Derek were willing to step forward and put in some funds there. $350 for the sound. And we definitely need some porta potties for this year. I just looked on Working Dog website. The regular portalet is 135 and a handicap is 160. And the thought was to do 2 regular and 1 handicap. That would be $430 there. The plus there is that we wouldn't be bothering the Historical Society or the church. We could do everything with the portalets and it would be a lot handier and we wouldn't have to be bothering folks in the Historical Society or the church.
Are you including the one that's usually on the far side of?
Yes, yeah. And
That would be one of the 3 regular ones.
no, I wasn't thinking that. We might be able to, but people are hesitant to walk over there. I suppose if there were a line and we could put a sign up saying that there's a spare portalet across the park, that's a possibility. Would save $135. And I'm sure the Rusty Bucket would be willing to play. I've emailed Dave Stetson. I haven't heard back from him, but I'm sure he's been on tap every year for us. I'm sure he would be willing to step in again this year. So wondering what your thoughts are on it. What's the name of the group here that did the food?
That would be the Cold Hollow Community
Yes.
Collective.
Right. And hopefully those folks and your folks would be on board again to do that.
You see, we have a meeting coming up in February. Is
Yeah.
our first meeting of the 2023 era.
Yeah,
And we're gonna
Yeah.
get a idea of how we want to proceed in 2023.
Yeah.
In worst case scenario, if Cold Hollow doesn't do it, we can see if we just can't kind of get the money to see if we can't get the donations, and
yeah,
I don't mind manning the grill again. That's fine by
Right.
me,
right.
you know.
We'll do the chocolate milk again.
Yeah, it went
So-
over well once we told them it was there.
Right, right, right. Yeah,
So,
and I would
But I just.
think that Historical
fine.
Society would be on board again. So. Yep. So thoughts,
so you're saying no parade again this year?
right, unless somebody wants to step forward and do the legwork to set that up and get the permits. The permit for the road is huge.
Right.
It's a lot of work there. Getting people to the parade is a lot of work, getting it organized. I think the fire department would be able to work in the traffic control at the event. But as far as the legwork and that stuff, putting it together, it just, we don't have the people to do that piece.
There's a subcommittee that may or may not have been disgruntled because there was no parade last year.
Mhm.
And they want to step up.
They want to step up to the plate. Exactly.
You are willing
Josh.
to work with them. You're just not.
Exactly. Right. I think that, and it'll be at 6 o'clock. And we'll
I
do
think-
everything together.
When would you want to know by, Paul?
Oh, I would say by March or April.
Okay.
Right, a commitment,
Yep.
right.
I just, if we get that out there in the public, that if somebody is willing to do it,
And
you're. willing to-
town meeting might be a good time to ask that question. So I'd be willing to stand up and ask and say that, and so, but as far as the traffic control, we could pull that off with the fire department, but all we're gonna do is go down there and put somebody with a radio at the staging area, and we'll block the traffic off, and but beyond that,
Just out of curiosity, did we keep, anybody know if there's any copies of the former permit requests from the state?
yep, right here,
That'll make life easier. If anyone wants to take it
Yeah.
on, it's already kind of just plug and play.
yeah, it's all right here.
What are they, and I'm sure there's a fee with it.
I don't know if there was a fee
Really?
with that. Oh, that's another, we need to come up with a date. I was gonna run that by you folks to
That's the
see
fourth
what,
This year.
Yeah.
Calendar. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 4th of July is a Tuesday this year.
yeah,
So, Paul, just to make sure that I'm hearing your numbers right. And I'm looking at what we discussed already as far as budgeting.
Yeah.
For the actual fireworks, your number was 4.
4,000, yeah,
So was ours. Good.
Yeah.
For the PA system, you're saying the half that you would need for the 4th of July celebration would be 350.
350.
Okay.
That's right, Josh,
Did 725
for both,
2 years ago for both,
right,
if they both.
town meeting and,
If they
right.
both run about the same price, we should be perfectly fine with what we have budgeted here.
okay,
The only thing we would be looking at is the portalette.
The portalette.
Because we only budgeted 150. And according to the calculations here, it would be 565 for,
for 3 of them, but if we,
You
if
said
we go
three
with-
regular ones and one,
one handicap,
so that's
But-
4.
but if we go, are you counting that one, Lance,
No.
with the
5.
4?
It was
Cause
not.
I was thinking two
Regulars.
regulars and one handicap
So you're.
would be 430.
430.
But if you wanted to go with one less, it'd be $135 less,
395.
$395. Oh, boy.
yeah,
Yeah.
those are expensive.
Yeah,
I took working
I
dog,
wouldn't even go there.
working dogs. Units are very clean, very well maintained. Yeah. I think the day, but I bet the day fee on that is more than we have budgeted. for-
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah, easily.
So that's, now that's a month rental, right? The price that you're quoting is for the entire month, I believe.
For the portalets? Just checked the website. It was for the weekend.
Oh, for the weekend.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And the 4th falls on a Tuesday. So when would we want this event?
What would be the week before or the week after?
Yeah,
That's
let's-
the question.
Yeah, let's decide on the portalets before we move to the date, if we could. So I'll make the phone call.
Okay.
We just need to budget it, and if that's another thing, working dog is all credit card. I don't know if they would send an invoice and we could do a check, or if you folks work with credit card
We
here.
have a town credit card that we could put that on. It would just need prior approval, so we'd need to know
Okay,
The amount.
30 to 60 days in advance. so
Right.
that we make sure that,
right,
we approve that
Right.
first. So that we're not so worried about there.
Okay.
That's doable.
so do you want to do the 3 or
the two regular and one handicap.
And one
We wanna do
handicap
one
would be
regular.
$430.
Just for the board to look at, we have budgeted 150. That's for the one that stays on the park all summer long.
Yep.
So in,
And that's split in thirds.
right, that's
Is
it.
that what we done?
That typically, I believe, is.
Could you move that for us for the?
Yeah, I've looked into that and it doesn't work. No,
It's basically a removal and a reinstallation.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
They tow pretty
for
easy.
our third. On that one, we'd be looking at approximately. You said it was 389,
395
395, so.
for one.
One of, that's one of
Yeah.
each.
Use the one at the
So you're
park.
looking at 550 is what we would need to up that budget to, from 150 to 550.
I think if you're looking to not use the church and the town hall toilets, I think we need two regular ones. It's a high volume thing.
Right.
Could.
We get a lot of wear and tear and we don't have the septic system for either the
Right.
town or the church.
Right.
So my question is, could these facilities be used for the handicap accessible?
I think that's what we did last year. We said that this would be used for the handicap accessible folks, handicap folks.
We did,
Two,
but everybody was using them.
Right, right.
so.
The other thing is you have to have someone at the door.
Yep,
Yeah,
so it's
And it-
easier just to shut these doors and say.
yes, right,
That's correct.
right. The one over here isn't handicap.
What's that? No, you're fine. No, we're discussing the one that gets put on the park over by the, yep.
Yeah.
I guess that we're just looking for a yay or nay on upping that from 150 to 550 on the portalet.
That would, if we're going with 3 portalets plus the other one, it's gonna be more than that. It'll be
Right.
580.
Cause we
Right,
got
'cause it's
430
430
here for
Right.
that weekend.
430 and the 150 is 580.
I would come up to 389.
Well, because we were saying just
That
get
would
one and
be-
one, rent one and one and use the one at the park. But we're thinking the amount of traffic may be greater than that, so we should probably rent 2 of the regulars, one of the handicap
Handicap.
and use the park for the overflow.
For the
And
over,
that way we could close these doors.
close these doors and
Church
not
doors,
worry
yeah.
about it.
Go up on 600.
580 is, it's gonna be 600 by the time we're done.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we're looking at a portalet increase from 150 to 600.
yeah.
To cover the 4th.
Yay or nay?
I'll make a motion that we make the adjustment to 600.
I'll second the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There. That is now
Okay,
600.
And then we're back to the date.
Yep.
The almost 5,000,
right,
just shy of 5,000.
Grand.
yeah.
Now-
Yeah.
30, 730. 780.
Yeah.
4780.
And a couple discussions that have been had already this year,
Well, no.
the
you're right.
topic has been brought up, the cost of this event.
Yeah,
And,
that's what we're here for.
Yep. Um.
I mean, if we could find a way to offset some of it.
Correct.
We passed the boot last year, we got $220.
I mean, when we did the hamburgers for Cold Hollow, we we had like $800, but Brenda, remind me, someone won the 50-50 and put it back into Cold Hollow.
Yeah, you and Barry,
How much was that?
it was over 200.
Yeah,
So we're talking like $600 with hamburgers and hot dogs. And I said, if we could get a cotton candy machine there, you'd really be cooking. Seriously.
There
Popcorn.
are entities that might let you rent one.
Yeah, popcorn machine,
School owns 2 of them.
Our school?
Yeah.
cotton candy machine.
Oh, popcorn.
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 Both is fine. I mean, but yeah,
Well, the Franklin County sugar makers may be worth checking into, because you're not gonna be competing with them during that time. you know, they don't come up here, but
The key thing is figuring out, because the food was 99% donated between Hannaford's up here, Hannaford's down in
Right.
St. Albans, all 99% of the stuff was donated, even down to Lance's bride donating some items. Everybody kind of chipped in from Coal Hollow. So the question then becomes, you know, could we get at least the Hannafords to donate to the event? That's the real question, because they gave the meat and the buns,
Right. Right.
and
Yeah.
the fire department supplied the condiments.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're talking basically now on and, you know, getting some kickback on that.
Working to get it so that we don't lose to help reduce the amount of money to the town by people purchasing food
Yeah.
and or items at the event.
What if we let the voters decide?
We don't want to put that in as a separate line item altogether.
Seems like it might work and get some discussion going and let the voters decide.
A line item of. That would take
I would think-
4,000 out of the general budget.
Yeah, could you put it all in as one line item, Josh?
It's already, it has been in there in the past.
Yeah,
Saying,
yes,
No, what he's saying is put it as an article.
As an
Don't put it
article.
as your budget. As part of
We
your
did
budget,
have it as an article
Yeah.
in the past.
right?
We
but
just
he's-
haven't had fireworks in
Right.
the last couple of years, so we hadn't had it. But it has been an article.
That's what he's asking.
Yeah,
So do we
To
just
put it
want to
as
put
an
it-
article versus,
I was assuming we wouldn't change it.
It was the firework, everything together, except for, I don't know if Rusty Bucket charges us, but everything else is just under $4,800.
Well, we would need a number.
So
Line item, it would be,
Yeah.
shall the town approve the sum of $5,000 to go towards
yeah,
4780 to go towards.
5,000.
4th of July
Right.
celebration.
right. Yeah,
Voted in
Including
yes or no.
fireworks.
right,
If it goes through, yes, you got a
It-
4th of July celebration.
right. If it doesn't, we don't, so,
Right.
Enjoy St. Albans fireworks.
yep, yep.
There you have it.
That's right. Yep.
Recording.
So I think, Lance, I know I think we have this in the general right now.
We didn't vote on it for the last 2 years because we haven't had.
Right.
the
that's
Right.
what I had. So before that,
Right.
thing, it was a separate line item.
Yes,
Okay, so it would be moved back
Yes.
to a separate line.
Right.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So a date,
What, the first is Saturday? I think July 1st
first
is
is
Saturday.
Saturday,
The 8th is the week after.
It's closest. And we've done it on Saturday to accommodate those who
right, right.
have a short.
Yeah.
You know,
And I think a Saturday kind of moves us out of all the other events that would probably be going on too, so. And I think a Saturday is easier to get people power here to do the event too, and
And then
Yeah.
people can have the 4th with their families on the 4th.
So.
sounds good.
First.
July 1st. I believe. I'll make a motion for July 1st if you need a motion. Otherwise, July 1st sounds
I
good to me.
think we do, is what it'll do is it'll go in.
it's happening at 6. So you said
6
6.
P.M.
If they want to do.
Right.
If there's a parade, right,
If
This
not,
this is not, this is here nor there until the taxpayers decide whether or not it's happening.
right, right.
The date is important, the time is not at this point.
Yeah.
Right,
right,
right.
And maybe in that article, Josh, we could just put the date in there with it,
Yes, yes.
so then it's right there.
Fourth of July celebration to be held on July.
July
1st.
1st.
Okay, July 1st. Yep, no, that's.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay,
Rain date? Next dry day.
yeah.
Um, Good. I think it rained that day too.
Right, right, yeah,
July 2nd.
Um,
that's
I don't
that
know.
whole permit for the parade
perfect.
right there. It's 3 or 4
If
pages.
it rains, we'll have our money for the following year.
Yep,
There you go. That's happening.
That's- yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
all right,
Perfect.
thank you, people.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yep.
Next on the list.
Good night.
Alex, do you happen to bring
That copy of the budget I gave you.
Right here. I can move on with Lance.
I'm still my papers.
Okay.
Right here, I'm moving on with Lance.
I'll look out there.
Thank you.
This is the revised.
So we had some questions last time I was here, talking about the budget. So we've revised our numbers. Salaries are, well, actually, let me start with the actual increase. So we're asking for an increase this year of 10,555 over the past 3 years where we've been level funded, 4 years we've been level funded. Those increases that we control are salaries, which are going up 5,568. Antivirus software, which we have not had on our computers, which is an issue. The best price we can find for that for a business is 1,500. We need to put some money into our website, about 350. And we're increasing programming this year to do more stuff with youth, young readers. So we've also had to include extra for utilities. Cost of doing business has gone up, as we all know, and our accounting has gone up from 700 to 1,250. And we're looking at a decrease. Well, we've done a conservative estimate on our income based on our investments. That's just based on what happened this year. So that's where we are. The other thing, library hours. So the library is open. Let me do my math. The library is open 11 plus 20, so 31 hours a week, plus 2 hours of admin time for the librarian to do grant writing and all that other stuff that really has to happen in quiet time. Those hours do include an extra 2 hours. She's partnering with the ASP, the after school program, and providing some programming after school once a week for the school. And we're anticipating doing more work with the school over time. We're trying to build that partnership. So we have reduced our expenditures where we can. You are right, Terry. We are able to get a free mailbox, post office box. So that's nice. We had to change our address and go through that whole process, but it's saving us some money. We've reduced our expenditures on books because Hadley is pretty confident she can get some grants and increase our collection that way. We've reduced periodicals, and that's based on what people aren't reading, frankly. Then, we had some that really weren't being utilized. So we've eliminated those. We've reduced conferences, mileage, wherever we could, $50 here, 25 there. So it's pretty lean where it's at right now, I think. You had questions about our carryover. So we got to the bottom of that. That took some sleuthing. So our carryover so the amount of money we had in our operating budget on the 31st of December 2022 was $19,183.71. So 10,718 of that is actually carryover from 2021. So when we did our budget at that time, we thought our carryover was 1861, and we had an article on that town meeting day, and that got moved into our operating fund, into our improvement fund. We didn't know about this 10,000 until recently, and we could speculate what happened there, but we had a treasurer at the time who has since or is no longer working with us, so we really cannot get to the bottom of what that is. I would speculate that the year before we'd given back 15,000 to the town, and that was money we hadn't spent due to COVID on salaries mainly. We were still dealing with COVID in 2021, so that's probably it, but I do not have a definitive answer for you. So that 10,000 accounts for the bulk of that carryover. It also includes, let me get the actual number, 7,188, that's our improvement fund. So our actual carryover leftover from 2022 is $1,277, and that we would ask to put into our improvement fund. That 10,000 that's just been floating will also go into our improvement fund, and we will ask for that, and that will pay for our floor. because the floor is right at 10 grand. So we would not have to ask the town or the voters for any more money to pay for that.
So right now, I know obviously you've been operating off it a little bit, so as of the 23rd, you're 17,887.59 in the savings. How much of that are you asking to roll over into the improvement?
So it would be the
10,000.
10,718.07 plus, I mean, traditionally we've used the 1,000, whatever was the couple of thousand that's left, which is this year is 1,277.11. So it would be 11,900, just under $12,000 we were asked to roll over.
Leaving an operating, leaving that extra $5,000 in there, plus or minus.
Right now, the amount that's in there is 7,188. I'm sorry, that's in the improvement fund. Is
Okay,
that what you're asking?
no, the checking.
Your checking fund balance as of today is 17,947.
No,
No, that's not checking,
not
savings.
17,887.
your savings account.
Your checking only has 60/35.
Yeah, and the checking
Oh,
account, Maria just moves money over as we need
Yeah,
it, so that
right.
typically is it.
Right.
So-
Yep, no, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
I pressed links.
I haven't got those numbers in front
No,
of me.
that's right.
So
So, and taking 12,000 out of that, you're still gonna have just under $6,000 in the savings. Is that staying there? Is that being moved? Is that?
so that's the operating fund that we've saved, right? That's an improvement fund.
I
don't
don't,
have the
we
numbers
don't
of
have
all
it
the
broke
savings.
down as that.
Yeah.
Breakdown for us, that's.
Right
the-
now, we have for your savings 17,947.94.
So you have
No.
two, you have.
Savings and checking.
17.
Well, savings and
And
checking.
checking. All right, so that is 7,000 of that is improvement fund right now. And then 10,000 is the money that's been floating, and then 1,200 is the carryover from 2022. So it adds up to, yes, that amount would be
And what you're asking.
Those
is to
figures
take
don't add up.
all of that.
and move
Move it into the improvement
to
fund.
redo the Floors.
Not all of it. 10,000 would be for the floors, and then that other lump sum would be for, we're assuming the furnace at some point, because that's sort of what we've been.
That's what the fund
Focused
was
on
originally
saving for.
created
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
So just.
So
a
you're
question.
saying that 10,000 of it, you're putting into your improvement fund.
$10,718.07. And that was the amount, if you look, I've got the auditor's report from last year, there is a carryover fund of 10,718.07. It's that last number here that we just didn't know anything about.
And the other 7 is already.
It's the stuff that we've been adding every
Sorry,
year.
It's already in there. We just don't see their breakdown.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I
in
think-
two accounts.
For another year,
But at the end
the
of the
select
day,
board
there's not enough
needs to
money in
see
this
that
line
breakdown.
item for what she's saying.
I only have what Maria gives us, so Maria could probably give you that.
I think you need to present to us that this is what we have cash on hand and this is what it's set
So
aside.
I'll be honest with you, you have more up-to-date numbers than I do, because I don't have what you
Well,
have.
that's a gross amount that,
Yeah.
and it doesn't break it down to what is.
Because what she's
set
saying, she doesn't have enough money for.
Nikki, what page is
If
that?
if I'm
And this
hearing it
one,
right.
it is, oh gosh.
Is she saying
page
10,000,
50.
7,000?
50, that's why I can't
And
find it.
then
I'm
they
too
have
early in the
another-
book.
How much left over after that?
But it's at 1,200.
The numbers that Maria gave me today, and I've only got it on my phone. I haven't got a hard copy of it. In the account on January the 1st, 2023, we had $19,183.71. 10,718.07 of that was that money that was left from 2021. 7,188.53 is in, or is slated for the improvement fund. That's been built over the last, I think, since 2013. And then we have a carryover from 2022 of $1,277.11. And those were numbers Maria gave me this morning. So
So Terry, the reason that number, this number isn't matching up is because her number here is as of 12/31. December 31st, first of the year, that's what they've had. They've
So they've
spent
spent some of it.
$300.
We've had, yeah,
That's why it's not, yeah.
Okay.
If, I'm sure that's probably what you're doing right there. If you add those three numbers, it should come up to this. That's where our disconnect was.
Okay.
We're.
you're looking at
$200
today's
short.
numbers and
Yeah.
I'm not looking at
Right.
today's numbers.
So Nikki,
Yeah.
you mentioned your computers, your website and your antivirus is costing you this, and you anticipate $1,400, $1,500?
$1,500 for the antivirus software. That's the
That's,
quote that we have for a business because we can't get
you can buy them by, how many computers are you covering?
3.
You know, you can pay, and I'm just gonna tell you, go to an MSP like Competitive Computing, Tech Group, SimQuest, I think you can get for each machine, you get it as a service, like a cloud option. It's like $3 a machine a month. And that's
So,
business. Business
Honestly,
does it all.
that's not
Oh.
that, I didn't do that research.
Yeah.
Somebody else did that research.
I know
So-
that because I get it for my own business. I think Tech Group, for instance, I talked to them less than a month ago. I think they said their Sentinel-1, which they watch for your viruses and all, they're running, I think, $6 or $7 a month per it's a managed service. They actually look at your computer the whole time too. And it's per machine. I mean, I think whoever you got $1,500 from, that's an astronomical quote for AV. You can just go get WebRoot and put it on your machines yourself. And it's like $50.
I'll take your word for it. Honestly, it's not my own expertise, so
I
I'm.
deal with it a lot.
That is.
I deal with a lot.
Yeah.
My Billy Wade.
So I would be thrilled if you could
Something you would be.
I can look
email
into
that
it.
information. That would be
So,
fantastic.
You only have 3 machines though, 3 PCs,
2 laptops and a PC.
any of them Macs?
No,
Okay, I'll find out the
that would be
pricing for it.
brilliant. So,
Yep.
so maybe then we could reduce something there. That would be great.
I'll do it first thing tomorrow.
Fantastic.
And then
Thank you.
that way, you know, because we're running out of time.
We
I'm
have an
just saying-
emergency, we have an emergency meeting tomorrow night.
Okay,
So we will have,
let me try to get this
That
first thing
being
in the morning.
said, the select board, we need to meet Wednesday. We can do it early, but once they finalize their number, that can go into the warning. And then we need to sign off on the warning before it can be published.
Mhm.
So with their meeting not happening until tomorrow, we need to have another meeting Wednesday night. We can do 5:30. We can discuss that later, but don't let me. forget.
Depending
We'll
on
get
what
this
this
to you.
weather hits,
Yeah,
Ugh.
I might not be in town. They're trying to send me to,
okay. Is that, you'll have. This is the number then.
this is the number
This is
unless
the
we
number,
can, yeah.
45,555.
So that's the increase, 45,555. That's what
No,
we're-
Well, the increase is
10,500.
10,555.
My other question regarding the floors, since there's no mold there, and I'm just curious,
Hmm.
could we not have them pull up the rugs and just sand and seal the floors?
No, well, the floors are, so the floors have asbestos tile
Okay,
that is masticed in. I can't remember they're stable right now,
right.
but we pull up the carpet, something has to go on top of that floor.
Okay, so we couldn't,
So
okay,
what they said in their thing is that the glue that's holding the carpet down right now is also holding the asbestos in.
right.
So sanding would be like the absolute.
Let
Worst
us-
thing we could do.
Yeah, I kind of remember. I just
Yeah.
thinking, you know, could we?
Yeah,
reseal
and the
it?
carpet is just peeling off, so because it's separated from the glue, so it's actually,
As long as the glue's staying on the floor.
And
not
it's-
on the
and
carpet,
it's-
You're okay. Yeah.
and apparently it is fine, so touch wood.
Um,
I'll know by the end
The
of
only
tomorrow.
other question I have is. 3 years ago, you gave back 15,000.
Mhm.
2 years ago, you had a floating sum of 10,700.
Yep.
Last year, you had a floating sum of 7,000.
It wasn't that much, it was 1,800 last year. We-
Okay, so
yeah.
the 7,000 is for the improvement. fund
Yes,
Is for where?
that's
was
been
last
over,
year.
that's been over,
Okay.
since 2013, we've added to that.
All right, I was just curious if we've had over or.
Right, that huge increase,
15 and 10,000.
We-
last two
no.
times.
that is,
Never
We
asked
know the
for-
first, right, we know that first year was COVID because we were closed for 2/3, if not more of
Yeah,
the
but
year. And
There's
then,
another explanation too. We started setting money aside for the furnace, which hasn't been used. So that's carryover.
so that's right. No, I was talking about the money we gave back, the over budgeting question.
Just asking the questions that
No,
were gonna be
no,
asked
that's-
of us when we say we
Absolutely.
want, 45,000 instead of 35,000. And they say, but they want us to roll 10,000 over. How's this work?
Right. And the answer is we were closed for pretty much 2 years.
I would just say.
We won't put it like
be a
that.
Town meeting day.
I've got to get time off, annual leave to come to town meeting.
Make sure there is a representative from the library that can speak to that.
Yeah, it'll probably
we
be me.
can, but
No, it'll probably be me.
that would, because I'm sure that question.
Of course, and it should be. I mean, it's a legit question. We asked it.
Have a better handle about how much money's been carried over for improvements.
Yeah, I mean, it's right here.
Because
and- yeah.
that's in that 19,000 somewhere. It's
But
been
it's
it's
not
been set
their
aside for
budget here.
improvements, but it hasn't
I
been
don't see
used
it.
yet.
Because it's right,
Yeah.
because it's,
Their
For whatever
improvement
reason, it has
line
not
item
been
for
used yet.
cabinet.
It still needs to be used for those improvements.
This is
Yeah,
so
or
hard for
some
me to read.
Equipment maintenance and replacement.
Oh, that's, that is?
Yeah, that's why it went down 16,000.
So that accounts for a good chunk of it.
Mhm.
Because they're rolling this over into that.
But I thought he said they've been rolling for a furnace.
The furnace started 3 years
2000,
ago.
I think it was 2013,
Been
But
a
it's
while.
not as a line item in your budget.
No, it's in the.
because it's a savings
improvements.
account. It's an improvement fund. We haven't used it.
Okay.
This is just what we would be spending money on.
It seems like that should show somewheres though.
I'm sure Maria could do that for us. I mean, if you look at what she puts in here, it's not the same as that. That's just.
Oh,
our-
okay, okay.
that-
So
that's
it
just
does
our-
show in there.
Yeah,
Okay,
Shows in the auditor.
yeah.
okay, okay.
I just don't have the skill to be able to.
That's fine, that's
show
fine.
that, But
I
yes,
just-
it would show in here.
Okay, okay.
Improvement fund.
Alright.
Yeah. carrying over is-
I think we're all set at this point. And
Cool.
we look
So
forward
I
to
will
seeing
get-
what you have.
There'll be a budget on Kathy's computer Tuesday night. Should it go to Kathy or Maria or both?
Oh, just the CYA.
Thank you.
Next on the list, Pat. Mr. Evans. Come on up, sir.
I don't see him here. No, just
Uh,
kidding.
I was gonna say, do you know? Have him? So there was a sticky note on there.
I'm
It
just
was- it was
picking on
posted out
him.
there.
You're the other.
Pat, make sure you turn on the mic, please.
Yes.
Thank you, good sir.
Seems to be green.
Green.
I thought, as I
That's the
understand,
green light.
we were proposing an article for the, and I thought since it's going to be under other, that we'd be somewhere later in the evening. But I'm still awake, so it's a good thing. I'm here to ask that you, well, we'd like to submit an article. Asking for them $500 for the Bakersfield Conservation Commission. We haven't in the past received any money from the town in any regard that I know of. And we are having some uses and some forward-looking plans. In the past, we have had this last year, we spent at least that much trying to get a pollinator garden started in the town park. And with the kinds of plants that are on there. And quite frankly, we have ambitions. That we do have a nice trail. It's on private land. Up Shattuck Mountain, we have the town park trail, which is encroaches a little bit on the cemetery and the ballpark. And we see the idea of having a town forest, for instance, is there. $500 is obviously not going to do that for us. But if the opportunity arose, we feel that that would be a big ambition of ours, would be possibly land purchase. If something came up for the town, like a park, well, we have a park, like a town forest, for instance. That's something we've been thinking about.
This, is this a operating budget or are we setting up a for lack of a better word, a trust to acquire land on the town's behalf, or how is this? How should this be presented to the town as an operating budget or as a fund to preserve Bakersfield land and
I think
It's
that's
not
the main,
operating. I read it in your minutes. They
Yeah.
called it something else.
okay, I wasn't at the last meeting. Do you remember, Alice? What that would be?
Well, for this year, it's mostly for money for the garden and the trails, right? And that's with the walkway.
Those expenses, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not looking for, some reimbursement there. We also have a couple of memberships coming, for instance, in gardening association of some sort, which have some benefits and free service and free plants. That's, and if something comes up, be nice to have it. If the portlet, for instance, isn't subsidized, which could happen any year, I suppose. For a month or two, or 3 even, we'd have something there to fall back on.
I think they just called it a conservation fund. It said Enosburg had one, Montgomery had one.
Yeah, a lot of towns pay for the flowers in the parks and an upkeep of the parks, so.
yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I was just curious if it's an operating budget or if it's something that, much like the library, that, at the end of the year, say you've only spent $150, $200 of it, that 300, does it get rolled over?
Well, it says in here, it wouldn't be used, it can't be used for operating expenses.
The monies we do have are monies that we earned in grants and so on previously.
Yep.
We've never gotten any money from the board. Well, I'm not sure on that statement, but
You know better than I do.
not officially.
I'm not saying I'm for or against, I'm just asking the questions that
Not taking.
are probably, if anybody has any concerns with it, that would be asked when it's brought up on town meeting day, if you bring this up and somebody says, well, what is this for? I want to make sure that we've had this discussion already, so that when that question is asked, exactly how to answer it, and we're not looking around the room going,
It would be nice to have that money available for making trail signs and
Well, that's
a
another,
bench at a
Yeah.
convenient place or whatever, nothing major.
Yeah. Do you have something already written down, how you want the article
I did
presented?
type up something here,
excellent, we will take that.
pass it on to you. Okay. That it? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, they're all in here. They're just
Drop it off to Josh.
right here.
We'll can take it right here. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Are there any other visitors? So just here for that part? Yes, okay. In that case, we'll move on to roads. Come on up, Mac.
Control, take
Pretty vague.
Yeah.
Is it on?
Yeah. Sorry, Mac.
Yeah.
Pat, just one more thing, just reading this, I guess I should have asked you for this before. So it says, shall the town authorize the sum of $500 to be paid to the Bakersfield Conservation Committee? Typically, we would be looking for a 4 after that. So is it for trail preservation and beautification? Is it? Okay.
Improvements.
If you could just even pencil that in, just so that we have a what for type of deal.
Need a pen?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Max. All right, roads. Not muddy anymore.
No.
Not muddy.
Not biting, not icy right now. They're just waiting for the next snowstorm. Last night obviously wasn't much, but people have come to think that you see a flake, you better go plow it,
Dust,
sand it. and-
dust it off.
But yeah,
I think this is more. This is more for me than it is for the town, really. In front of Tri-Horn Shop.
here we go. I sand that every.
I know, just a little bit more. I almost.
Where
slipped.
is it?
You know where Tri-Horn Shop is?
Enosburg.
It's actually, yeah, it's part of the road that we cover for Enosburg. It's slippery right there. That's where I turn around with the school bus.
I found that sinkhole.
It's just a slide into the ditch, right?
It's pretty good though,
Yeah, but it's
Where's that one?
on Kings Hill Road
King.
or King Road.
Yep.
But it's okay. I met a car right there. And there's not room for that end.
If you're gonna meet a car, that's where you're gonna meet it, right?
Yeah.
The one or two that you.
Well,
meet there,
I had been looking for it. And I was like, I don't see where there's a sinkhole.
It's just
Yeah.
where the water came down out of, I believe it came out of BJ's upper driveway, maybe. Came down, that's where it happened to go off.
Washed off.
Yeah, you
washed
saw
off.
it too. It's like doing a little.
And I could put a stick in it for now with,
Well, that's the only thing I thought. Maybe if we even put a cone. I was gonna ask about putting a
I pile
cone.
the cone on.
You hit the cone.
Do you think that'll break down when it thaws? What's that?
You think it'll break down more when it thaws?
I don't think so. It's just one of those spots, it would be fixable more in the summer when you could get there with a piece of equipment.
It's more for something for a warning. I don't know what you could put.
Well, that's it. I mean, stick with a ribbon on it
Quite a
or,
few of the other towns just, even just to mark the edges of the road, just use 6 or 8 foot whip with a couple flag, ribbons on it.
yeah.
I think that would
Something.
get by just so
Yeah.
that nobody drives into it and says that we didn't do something.
Right.
Anything's better than nothing. So
So what was your complaint about Tri-Horns?
just a little more sand. I almost.
Slow down.
Yeah, really.
I thought you weren't supposed to turn around at a personal driveway.
We can with personal permission.
Oh, okay.
And they give us permission. I don't know why, because my bus is almost too big to turn around right there, but it's tight. But
It's hard to turn a truck around there too.
any others on roads? You got something for us?
Tom gave me the lowdown on the generator over there. I figured I'd
Okay,
bring it up.
yep.
They did come up, they serviced it, they found fuel lines that were sucking air. It needed fuel. He did get it running, so
Crack fuel lines from
basically,
being
yeah.
dry,
Plus the fuel was
gel.
Jelly,
jelly and
jellied
because when we went over that day, I stuck a stick in it and it was like, yeah,
honey.
yeah, it was like honey.
Okay.
So Phil called one day and said he was gonna order the fuel. He wanted us to order it. I said, that's you. So he was gonna order it. And John asked me to just touch base with Phil probably tomorrow and see if they got the fuel into it. And
Right.
I would assume they must have, because
Are we, or are they? Are we verifying startup? The weekly startup or the monthly startup? Are we?
It
verifying
should be at
that?
least, according to the agreement, it should be a minimum bi-weekly.
Okay.
so- We need to
Yep.
confirm what Philly's
I was
doing
gonna
it.
say, could we ask, and I say we, I guess I'm asking you, Mac, could you ask him for a,
schedule or something.
yeah, well, just like a check sheet, like you see on the bathrooms at a public restroom, went in this date, this time, started, ran for 15-20 minutes,
Shut it
shut
down.
down.
No issues.
The automatic run cycle is not working.
We're not sure.
I don't think it is. Like John said, he doesn't think it's been working since Brian's been gone.
Okay,
Because they haven't run
but
it.
the generator upon a power failure will automatically start.
I don't think so. I think they gotta go out and just start it, which is right now, I guess, just a matter of flipping the switch.
Because
think-
that's a function
it's
that
not-
it used to have.
Yeah, so it's not working properly then.
So they may not have it programmed. I know they said the last time it ran was the power outage before December. They had it run and then they didn't know when it ran before that or since then. So, I mean, obviously it's out of fuel. We know that.
Mhm.
So it won't start either way. It'll crank and fail.
So what we're
I
saying-
didn't see this ATS switch. I did ask. Nobody knew where it was or what it looked like. All we found was, remember, we found the actual physical
Right.
switch that
That's
throw.
Milton Cat would be
I don't think
charge
that
of, or
was,
is that something?
I want to say Peck Electric maybe was the one that did that.
Install it, yeah, because usually it's not cat, it's not a cat, it's,
Right.
they're made by, a lot of them are made by ASCO.
Okay.
There's many.
Well, who's
manufacturers.
maintaining it?
Well,
Who's
that's,
doing
the-
the maintenance on it?
nobody has done any maintenance on either of these in quite some time.
I
The-
thought we
the-
had it.
The generator got maintenance.
Yeah,
But
Right.
the
Emergency
the
switch.
switch, the convert, the automatic start and the automatic switch over. That's, I don't know who's that is.
So is that, I would assume that's ours. Theirs is the fuel, ours is everything maintenance related.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Is
a
the
call
switch
to
inside?
Mike's Electric.
Vern will know.
Yeah,
Vern will know. Seriously, Vern has a bunch of them he already has going,
yeah.
Yeah,
must be.
supposedly, not to put it on Vern, but you may want to ask Vern.
There's a transfer
That's the
switch
guy
inside
from
the
the-
school.
It's not the guy from the school, it's the guy who does all the, like,
Financing.
all the Franklin County type schools.
That's Josh's buddy.
Yeah, that might actually be, that might not be inside. Because if there was ever a fire or anything and you lost power to the building, they'd want to be able to cut power from the generator also. That might be at a pole or at a transfer box outside. You know what I'm saying?
Usually it's a EPO button they hit, but I don't know how it's set up here. Emergency power off button.
He thinks,
Vern.
don't you know Vern?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I'd reach out to Vern
Well,
and
because
find
it
out. who
needs,
it
it
is.
needs to be back to
It was always,
every week
If
that
the-
thing is kicking on.
right. It
Just,
was
we have
always-
one at work,
If the power went off in the school, you hardly noticed it. It
Right.
Flipped.
right?
Right.
So
And
something.
it just makes
something's
one
not-
little blink and then it's boom.
Well, honestly, Phil,
We need to restore that function for the
Right.
generator.
Honestly,
honestly,
ask
well,
Vern to get a hold of an electrician.
Yep.
We tell him the town would pay for it if that's what it's gonna be. I don't know, maybe like he says, John says, it's just not programmed for it.
or Phil just doesn't know where it is, which I could very well be the
Very
problem,
well.
because he couldn't tell, oh, wait, who was over there? It wasn't Phil,
It
it was
was
the lady. Connie?
Connie.
Connie had no idea where it was. We talked about it.
Well, I'm not surprised because the thing hasn't been running properly.
Well, the thing is, if it's still programmatically set to try, it'll try to fire the generators. The generator doesn't kick, it doesn't do the switch. So the switch may be good. We just couldn't find it.
Right,
And no one knew where
one's
it
been
was.
Paying attention.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe we get Vern involved because he's supposed to be able to handle this and just ask him where that's located. If not, Kathy's brother-in-law used to handle it. We can ask him if he knows where the transfer switch
Which
is.
one, Larry?
Brian,
Brian,
when
Brian?
he was the janitor.
he may know where it is if we have to go that route, but maybe we should ask Vern first. Because the way they're designed, they wait to see the power and then they switch over. No, the way the ATS is initially designed is if power gets lost, it fires the generator and switches over. But if it tries to fire the generator and it's not kicking on, it won't switch the load. So it may just be cranking the generator all this time and it never started.
The reason for the testing it every week is so you know right then there's a problem.
Mhm.
You don't wait until you have the
Does
power
weekly
outage.
Test transfer to the school, or is it just a matter of running the? You know what I
It
mean?
depends. Depending upon how complex the ATS is, it can either move the load, switch out the full load over to the generator, which is the way to really do it.
That's the way this one used to be.
It did used to, even in the morning with just a test.
It would be, I think it was every Tuesday it did it. It was either Tuesday or Thursday every week. It would switch over to that generator
For 20 minutes. and
for
switch
like
back.
15-20 minutes
Right.
and then kick back.
And that's how they're supposed to go. Now you can also
Depends on the
program it so
school
it
board.
doesn't switch the load, it just starts the generator and runs. But the reality behind it is there's no use in doing that. That's like, you're not putting it under load. You don't know if the generator's going to
Right.
drop.
So I have a message to go to Vern's. Hey Vern, we need to talk about the emergency start system on the Bakersfield generator, where the switch is located and what needs to be done to make sure it's work properly. This would probably be on the town's service side of the agreement, but not sure how we can handle it, or
Or where it's even located.
Yeah, 'cause we're not
We need
sure
to
if
know
it's-
where it is in the building.
that's what I said, where it's located and
Oh.
what needs to be done to make it work
I
properly.
missed that.
Could
sorry.
be in the school, could be in the, like, I mean,
So I
it's gotta
sent
be
that-
one of the two
In
places.
the sheds.
There's nothing outside besides.
There's nothing. I would say it's inside.
At least we have contact to him
Yep.
and he knows, he's aware of what the issue is.
Did you date
Yes.
when we wanted him to get back to us? Some people need time frame.
I don't hear from him. I'm kind of a pest.
When you
Okay.
talk to Phil, you can
Okay.
ask Phil. Phil may know. Because he's in early. He may know where the ATS is. Connie didn't. You can ask.
Yeah, I can ask him. I got him ask about the fuel and then to do a timesheet or whatever you want to call it, an exercise sheet for in the meantime,
Okay.
till it
Yeah.
gets up and running.
Yeah, I had my guys take all the readings off of it, but we don't have that set up here. It's not a graphic user, but they literally pull PSIs and everything else.
Yep.
That's make sure they do it.
And the fuel gauge was shot and they've got a
Yeah.
new one ordered. So
Any others on that? Is that pretty much?
pretty much it.
We get back
Well,
to it?
we had a wing push arm on truck number 2 bus. That's part of the bill for Viking,
Okay.
plus carbide blades, which are $145 a foot. And they last 2 to 3 years, Terry. So I mean, they're very well worth it. We had Rick come up and work on the loader last week. He repaired the bucket tip cylinder, I guess it would be. Had to repack that. That's gonna be on build in the future. And he's also got to do something on the fan. We had to order that part. So that's coming too with a seal in the back of the motor. He's coming up, I think, Wednesday to fix that. So other than that, things are running good.
Correct.
Excellent.
And Burns already got.
What caused the repairs? Just old age?
Yeah, basically, I mean, it's a push arm. I mean, you hit something, it's made to break, and that's the push arm was only $190. That was the cheap part. The carbide, like I said, those are expensive, but when they last 3 to 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty cheap.
Kings Hill, are we? Haven't heard from them, so I take it
Every
we
day.
got it all straightened out.
Every
Okay.
day he goes up after he does his route and goes down, plows it, sands it if it only doesn't need plowing.
Good job.
It's a daily. Good job, Dan.
Good job, Dan.
I mean, Katie.
I don't care what Mike says about you.
Terry, you're not supposed to say that.
All right.
Thanks, Mac.
You got other under roads. Okay.
Okay, Kathy.
Number one, a few years ago now, talked to you folks about signs down here on 108 and also down on Route 36 before the curve by Bryce's about school bus stop ahead. Now, the kids that were at Bryce's are now in college, so that was at least 5 years ago, I think, 4 or 5 years ago.
And if I remember, road signs on 108 and 36 have to be taken up with the state. That's not a town issue.
But I thought there was the town that had to request it from the state.
Don't believe so. Well, no, because you even petitioned the state for the road speed limit change. We didn't have anything to do with that.
Okay. I will get right after them.
Yeah.
And the other
See-
thing is, when I was talking to Shane Lumbra about trees on the park, between the park and the cemetery.
Yep.
That need to be taken down, and we were also talking about the one down here on the road. And he says, actually, that's in the town's right away of the road, so it's really not the cemetery commission, but the town that would take that down. And I think Green Mountain Power might want to take that down because there's a guide wire from the pole across that goes right through that. So you want to talk to Green Mountain Power about that?
I think we already had Green Mountain Power come look at it. They didn't want.
They didn't want to do it.
They didn't
Oh.
want to do it. They'd rather,
Is that the one?
they'd rather,
Matt?
they'd rather clean it up after it comes down.
Probably. No, I don't know. I just know we did have them come look at one and they said no.
That was the one, was that the one down Lower Mac that you and the guys took care of? It started to fall over. No, the one that was down, yeah, there was Okay.
The
so
one
that's-
that's dropping a lot of limbs,
Okay,
and it's got a wire coming across from Green Mountains line.
Okay.
And there's another pole there and it kind of braces.
so in dealing with trees,
Mhm.
I do not want our guys doing anything that is gonna touch a power line if it falls.
Then I guess you contact Shane and have Shane take it down.
That's an option.
There you go.
I'm not sure. I know they came and looked at one, but I'll have to look and see. I don't know exactly
They
where
would
she's
come
talking.
trim it anyway. I don't think they would trim back the limbs. that
It's,
would be
it's
within-
dead. So,
Yeah, they wouldn't take the whole tree. They just trim back away from the line.
Yeah, just for a safety reason, I mean, I know Dan's good with a saw and everything, but a dead tree is unpredictable and
Yeah.
if it goes the wrong way. The one that I saw from pictures of formerly, it put a hole in the ground the size of a Volkswagen Beetle when it hit the main. It blew a pretty good hole in the ground. So
Oh, yeah.
not something I want those guys standing around. Our insurance is good, but not that good.
same option as the cemetery commission.
Yep.
Shane,
Yep.
okay,
Is Shane even doing it anymore? He
Yeah.
just went to working for Montgomery.
He did just get a job, part-time job. It's not a full-time.
Shane?
Yep.
Just cutting one down for the Historical Society on Friday
Yeah,
morning.
no, he still does it. He just, like Terry said, he just took a, what is that? It's not a season, it's a part-time position. It's not a full 40-hour.
It's on the road crew.
Right, yep,
I'm surprised it's not because they've been looking for one.
yep. He was offered a full-time position in Sheldon also.
Okay. That's it until we get done.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll send John Richards up here tomorrow
Still get the trick.
to look at that,
Perfect.
to see where she's talking. I thought we already looked at it, but
All right.
I'll make sure it's the same one.
Budget review. This is gonna take a while.
It's on top of the hill, you said? Yes. Right in the hill?
right in the hill, left-hand side going down. It's the one where it's a lot of winds and ground under it. And it's got the wire coming across from the south side of the road. It's kind of a brace wire. Put to a pole. Right near the tree. Take it for him.
So I have last year's warning
I'll see if I can get a poll number tonight.
and the proposed warning for this year. We're up for a fun game of fill in the blanks.
What are we filling in?
Budget blanks.
the warrant.
Oh,
for town meeting. So the first one is to elect moderator. We do have one from the previous year, that being John, but it will need to be told again, so that's item one. Australian ballot for select board 3-year term, select board 2-year term, lister 3-year term, auditor 1 year of a 3-year term, auditor 2 years of a 3-year term, planning commission 3-year term, planning commission 2-year term. Act on the reports of various town officers as contained in the current financial statement. Which that one is not in there last year. I'm not sure how that one is. Reread. 3.
Basically, in the old town meetings, when we still had them. And we're going to go back to that. That's when everybody who loves to read the town report, cover to cover, cover to back, picked up on all the errors and we got them corrected.
Before they're before they're.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's right, 3. Written in the language. predates me to read the warrants and read the warning and adjust and make corrections. And then elect remaining town officers as required by law. And we have first constable, second constable, collector of delinquent taxes, grand juror, town agent, cemetery commission, 5-year term, library trustee, 3-year term, trustee of public funds, 3-year term, Freedom Academy committee person, 3-year term.
Are those off the floor?
Those, everything, Article 1 is off the floor, Article 3, 4, and beyond are off the floor. The only thing not off the floor is Article 2.
So is tax collector every year?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was a 2-year.
No. So, next one. Taxes due October 2nd, 2023. That always aligns with, I believe, first Tuesday or Wednesday. Can't remember. Maybe you'll be able to tell me.
It is the first Monday, I thought.
Is it a Monday?
I think it's the first Monday in October, isn't it?
So as long as it aligns with the other ones, is everybody fine with that one?
Yep.
Okay.
October 2nd, you said?
Yep,
Yeah, first Monday,
first Monday of October.
because I almost missed mine one year thinking it was the
Um,
Tuesday.
Article 6, shall the town authorize the select board to set tax
Yeah.
to cover the expenses as voted? Again, not really something that has, not really something that can change. Somebody has to set the tax rate, and that's their job, one of their jobs. Shall the town authorize the select board to borrow money in anticipation of taxes? Again, since our taxes aren't due until October, it's kind of hard to run the town without that. Shall the town appropriate blank for road work?
Road work.
We have. She gave us one the other day that was. 2022 and projected 2023. I don't believe that had the road on it.
Commissioner.
So we have budgeted. Is this with the new? Budget on here? With the new budgeted totals for salaries.
You got last year's.
That's what I was looking for. So last year we budgeted 185. You account for overtime. And such. We gave a 6.5% raise. We want to take math on 6.5% of 185.
Lance will help you.
What do you got?
185,000. So $197,025. That's including. That's a straight time. Well, it was 185 last year. The actual of 12 was 165, 463. Keeping in mind, 5,000 of that was grants for FEMA, correct?
Approximately, yeah.
47, 23, 68. So with that, I would put it at 160. Suggestions? Do we leave it at 185? That gives us a, as of 12, that would be the $20,000
Cushion.
cushion. Zero increase on that.
Yes.
Head nods, yes.
Yes.
Believe? Okay,
No, we don't have to make motions on these.
no, okay. So. For all total encompassed, comes to a grand total here of 278,793.44
For road work,
road expenses.
that's $110,000 less than
Last year.
last year, give or take. Where did we save $110,000?
Great question.
Max salary.
Yeah, max.
Well, we combined them last year.
So our total paid last year. Granted, that has extra stuff in it for such as paving that wasn't allotted, but we spent 439. 386.
384.84.
84. Correct.
Benefits and everything else.
Right, but it didn't go down 100,000.
Mm-mm.
Very expensive for $100,000 in insurance, Mac.
Yeah.
Suggestions?
I
Can we
would-
reconcile that for Wednesday?
Yeah, we're meeting Wednesday. Let's find out what the actual numbers are for Wednesday.
But why is it different? Is the
There's something not right. We're missing a piece of the pie.
Yeah, I'm betting those numbers are not accurate in the report. 2022 and 2023 is that good?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, and did that include the truck payments? Last year you put that into
Into the road or into the general?
I believe it was into the road.
We put it into the road fund last year. This does not include those.
There's your extra.
There's your 100,000 right there.
You took a couple things and didn't get into
The trucks together were just about 100,000, I think.
repair fund went up too.
Small trucks.
because you moved it where?
That was line item, put it right into the budget itself.
Because you can,
Oh,
you can't vote not to pay for your truck. That's-
right, right.
The other thing is the repair fund. That might not be increased, probably back up to 30.
Yeah, we gotta take the repair fund back up to 35.
But that's equipment.
Or was it
repair.
30?
I was gonna say, wasn't that equipment repair fund?
Yes.
Where is it?
Fund equipment repairs.
Yep, you're right.
Equipment rental.
Well, we missed something somewhere.
Maybe we can ask Maria to take a look
I
and
don't
have
see
it ready
the
for us for
equipment
Wednesday.
repair fund.
It's a separate line.
Yes.
Isn't it supposed to be right here?
So why don't we just have Maria tell us what's going on?
I don't see it on there.
I don't know. Josh said it. but- Yeah.
See
We're waiting for Terry
electricity,
to tell us when
equipment,
she might
fuel,
be available.
diesel. Or what?
Meeting Wednesday.
Oh, depends if we get that freezing rain.
We had it broke down winter and did it work the year before.
We did.
And then
We have mud season here.
what's that? It's not in there as, it's its own separate line item here
Where are you seeing it on there?
on our,
Right,
warning.
on there, but I thought we had it on here as a separate line item, but I don't see it. I wonder if.
no,
you-
we moved stuff to that because it was, we had a bunch of small things that were on here.
Hang on.
You know, repair for this, repair
Right.
for that, and chainsaw maintenance, and so we took all those and moved it to the equipment repair fund, which we weren't having any issues with. We just have to look and see at this last 2023 and see where it is. Because in order to keep, is it 30 or 35 in there?
It was supposed to be 35, I believe,
Right.
Yeah,
And I think we,
but I don't see
what
it
did we
on here.
spend this year? It's on your new. Equipment repair fund right now has $8,950 in it. Yep. Which isn't, I mean, not really that much worse than,
Doesn't make sense either.
I mean, we asked for 25,600 last year. Which is what? 400 we would have had in it. I'm sure we're behind. So we're only $500 more we've spent in
we need 26,
repairs.
we need 26,000.
Right. Do we want to put that in there? We know that.
Yep.
Okay, so skipping over road work for right now.
Here it is, right here. Okay.
Sorry, Matt, what was that number again?
Doesn't make sense either.
26,049 or 2650, $26,050.
$26,050 for equipment repairs.
Last year, we asked for 25,600.
Yep.
So
The matching grants for paving, we've asked for 10,000 since I can remember.
mhm.
Stay with 10,000
It's been working. Is it?
For what? Sorry.
for
It-
paving.
It's been working. We get what, about every 3 years? Yeah,
Bridge repair was also 10,000.
correct.
Do we maintain the 10,000 for bridge repair?
Yes.
We did use some. That was all reimbursed.
Well, it should be from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was used for bridge repair, so. Yeah. FEMA pays.
General fund. We're looking for 2.271.
That's total.
Zero, yep, that's the entire general fund,
Yeah, that's total.
which is. What's in there, it's not. supposed to be.
The direct tax. The direct
Yeah,
tax.
I see that. Direct tax needs to be taken out of there. So.
All the direct tax from
Yeah,
School, basically.
does that come up to?
Something else is gonna come in there.
Fire department contract fees. Well. We are striking the $4,000 for the fireworks. Correct?
Yep. Cause it's on that, on
Putting
the
that in
separate.
a
everything.
separate line item.
Okay. Now, it's gonna go up. No, we did that last year. Never mind. We rolled the ambulance contract
And the fire contract, yeah.
and the fire contract into the general fund.
Yep.
Those are in there.
Yep. Road word. We're just looking to see what else is there. It's road word.
This late fees penalties. Is that,
That is
do we always,
something we incurred through the
right,
mishap.
so we don't need it in there this year though, right? Or are we just gonna keep it
We
there?
kept it in there just in case.
Okay.
Because there could be still some looming out there that we haven't been hit
Caught up
with yet.
Okay,
Um,
that makes sense.
does, but remember.
So the portalet, we gotta add to. There's only doing 150 there right now,
Right.
or,
Is this-
cause that's not in that
Hmm.
4,000, right?
Well, that's in the park.
What's it?
Well, that's over in the park.
It seems
No,
odd.
the one that we just said,
Does it
it's not
not?
in the. Oh, yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
you're gonna- it's 5,000, that's 4,000.
Right.
So no, this is fine.
But where does that number come from? We're just trying to figure the number that is in here. This 2.27 minus the direct tax came out to, what was that, 360.
2.232. This is the next note.
950.
Is this the direct tax that you're getting rid of?
1.8.
At this one. Oh, we didn't.
That's what we have left. This is what we budgeted. Because we've already started.
Yep.
So it's actually worse than that. Trying to figure out when we come up with $360,000.
What's that? Conditions there.
Right. So budget.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that, it was left over from what we paid in January.
Okay, from the overpayment, or
Yeah. No, we just delayed payment.
everybody get this, right?
Um,
Referring to this, going from what was budgeted last year to the numbers of the year this year.
we're missing a truck payment too.
We've gone up.
I'm saying,
Hmm.
I'm just trying to follow along.
It was 281, 281, 080,
Two.
360, 95. So, 80,000. Roughly. Which doesn't make sense. And it's not.
How big is the one with general fund?
It's on the general. This is from budgeted, so. Let's see if that building expenses went up 15,000.
I keep running total.
Yeah. Yep, so building expenses went up 15,000. Copier contracts the same. Or tax. is the same. Direct tax gets subtracted. This previous year's. Budgeted 35,000. I don't understand why that's budgeted. It's already paid it.
That's not leftovers, right?
Will be leftovers for, but what is it? Why is it? Because that's 35 plus the extra 15. That's 40,000 of it. No, it's 40.
50,000.
Yeah.
For where?
The direct tax from the previous year.
That's half of it, right?
Well, that's over half. All the expenses didn't change. Donations. Education didn't change. Cemetery electricity went up about 250. Electricity office went up 450. Fire department contract is the same. 4,000 from this.
Yep.
Why was we budgeted 1750? Why was we budgeted 500?
The office expenses. Okay.
Generator is a new one for $100. But it's just maintenance, $100 there. Health officer didn't change. Heating oil added another 2,500. Insurance went up. 2,800. Library is separate. Most of education stayed the same. Where we, I haven't got there yet. Lister mileage stayed the same. Medical. Lister. Medicaid, or sorry, Medicare employers went up, 1,800.
Wow.
Yep. It's not something we have control over there. Memberships and dues are the same. Monument expense is $250. We removed Memorial Day expenses and put that in with flags.
Oh, maybe that's why.
Yeah,
Because the
that's why.
flags are in it.
Yep.
You say, why would we put that much? But I think we
Mileage was
did
150.
combine those two.
This one needs to stay the same. Office expenses are up 3,000.
Mhm. Was that because of postage?
Yes,
What was that, Tutu?
planning expenses is up 150.
Well, it took a while to find out what that septic tank actually is here.
$50 there. $50.
Yeah, they think it's a buried barrel or a buried something.
800. School generator, 1,200. There's another $2,000 there.
Oh, my lord.
How much did you say that was?
What's that?
So, yeah,
500?
500 for select board expenses.
I thought she said 5 gallons. Good, what'd you say? Like a plastic bucket?
Is up. That's 40, it's gonna be like 3,800 for social security. Lights are the same. Telephone. is up
We had a long discussion trying to figure out about the septic system.
that out. Employment's the same. Property and casualty we didn't have on here. That's another 23,000.
We didn't have what?
Property, VCT, property and casualty insurance.
Did we put it somewhere else? Because I had it crossed off.
No, it's in here. We just didn't have it the year before.
Oh,
We
okay.
didn't budget for it.
That isn't under the insurance above for 24,000 and then down under VLTC, property and casualty insurance for 23,000.
Yeah.
Very well
It
could
cut
be.
There's your balance.
It's like a double there.
There's your double.
Yeah, between the incidentals that you listed
Yeah,
and that one.
well over.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we strike the insurance up at the top? And put that under VLCT, property and casualty?
Are we positive they're the same?
No, that's the question.
Right.
What was in?
There's another Marie question.
The VLC property and casualty. It looks like we moved it up to that insurance. thing.
So we gotta inquire on both of those.
Right.
Mhm.
You might want to call.
she said she'd be available.
Yep. That in zoning legal, we're at 1,500. So that's not entirely off.
No. It's in the
Well,
it's in the
and I'm
ballpark.
just not sure what this 35,000 is. Do you know what that is, Tammy, for the direct tax previous year? Is that what we owed from the previous year?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, could you get her on the phone, grab the phone?
but then she put 0 for this year.
No, 35,000. That's probably what we owed. We paid that, so now the total we have left is 0.
Right.
just like the direct.
Was that one
tax.
of the things that got paid late?
Yeah, all from the mishaps? No, I don't believe so.
No.
I think that would be like the remaining statement balance for the school's direct balance. If you subtract that from this, you're looking at it. It's more realistic. It's a $20,000 increase instead of a
Yes.
70. So. So we'll skip over general expense right now until we can get
Clarification.
Maria on the
Yep.
phone, yep. So we had talked about an outside audit. We asked last year for $19,000. That was because we needed the audit this year. Outside audit for year ending 2028. That gives us 5 years to prep for that. So my feeling is if we were to ask for 5,000 a year for the next 5 years, that would give us $25,000 to budget for that in 5 years. And if it goes up a little bit, we could adjust that in the final year. Correct? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, are you there?
Hello, yes, I'm here.
You didn't hang up on her, that's good. All right, couple questions. Do you have this in front of you by any chance?
No, I don't.
Okay.
The question might be.
Well, you thought you were gonna get to bed early.
Yeah,
Direct tax for the previous year. We have budgeted 35,000 and
so I put that in there because it's 35,000 for the library, that we usually give out in December, but they didn't give them until January. That's why it's last year's direct.
So I
tax.
told you that we
Okay.
paid it late last
so
year.
it's paid late. So that's not actually in the budgeted thing. That was paid. Okay, so that can be
I
struck.
think when you guys see like negative 35,000, be like, what the fuck? That's right, what the heck?
It's all right. You're directly below the mic, so that was caught very well. Yep. Okay, so minus the 35,000 there. That's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
That's it. It's a technical accounting term, yeah.
Right, yeah, very technical. We're also separating out the fireworks and putting that as a separate line item, so that will come out of there. I'm making all these notes, so you won't have to, I'm just running this by you.
Oh, tell her about the meeting Wednesday.
Yes, we will have a meeting. We will have a meeting Wednesday to finalize this, because there's a library meeting tomorrow. What time works? I would just assume go earlier the better.
Yeah, me too.
5.
5 work for everybody?
Do my best.
I think that it's home around 5, so I just might be a couple bits late.
How about 5:30?
If it gets to that point, I mean, you could bring the little one if needed. It's not I don't think there's gonna be a lot of discussion. It's just finalizing the warning and the select board signing it in.
We do 5:30?
Can we do 5:30?
Sure.
I'm okay with 5:30.
Because my day ends at 5.
Yeah.
So driving over, setting up everything else. So
I don't think it would have to be televised.
no,
No, it's literally us going
Okay.
over this.
5:30 is still good because my day ends at
Okay.
5.
All right, I'm just saying that I don't think
It's
you,
not a warned meeting.
I have to do my
Thanks.
second job by 6 that night.
okay,
5:20.
Yes, we'll need minutes and we'll need to warn it as well.
Well, he's just telling me we don't need the meeting. Yeah, I can bring up the meeting. Yeah, I'll try to get the meeting scheduled for
there's some
Wednesday.
side conversation that,
Yeah.
Oh.
Let me know what the time is.
yep. So it looks like we'll try to be here at like 5:15. And John may not be able to join us until 5:30.
Well, that's
That'll
good to hear.
allow Terry to review the warning. And if she has any questions, make them. Then when John gets here, we can go through the whole thing again and then, we'll.
I'll
we'll
see if I
just-
can get here
we'll
for 5:15.
Repeat, repeat, and repeat. Works for me. The other question we had here was, there's two items. One of them is insurance. And it just says insurance. There's no description. And then there's one down below. So that one, the line item is 24,000. And then down below, there's the VLCT property and casualty for 23,000. Are those the same?
I think so. I have it in front of me, but I don't.
Okay.
So there's a plain insurance, but I think if you look at the past year, 2022, I don't think there's anything that's under insurance.
Yeah, there was nothing under the VLCT property and casualty.
Okay,
So we had an insurance for 21,000. We didn't spend any of it. But then we had the property and casualty, which we didn't budget for, but was 16,000.
yeah, so that's like insurance.
So those two are one and the same.
Yeah,
Okay, that's what I was hoping. So do we want to strike out the insurance? And up the casualty to 24,000?
That would make sense.
That makes sense to everybody.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so striking insurance. For
So it's
24
63 counts, doesn't
and upping this one to 24.
So it looks like I'm headed to Brattleboro, so
Hmm.
I will not be here till Wednesday.
In the snowstorm? Nice.
That's what I thought.
Hey, bro, you're calculating?
Yes.
saving about 62,000 by removing those three things, fireworks, insurance, and tax of previous year.
We gotta have it in by Friday. So it gets warned by Monday.
Okay,
So you
I
can
might
still,
be
you
back
still sign up.
before Friday.
Sure it does.
So, yes, okay, those were the only things that jumped out at us. The rest of the stuff we knowing and willingly increased. There was a discrepancy there,
Is that what you got?
a significant discrepancy, but with those items that we just discussed,
That's
we
reasonable.
are within firing range. So,
okay. Did you guys see my notes about, that insurance? I did.
yes, it wasn't budgeted for. I did see that. It's in the front page of this one. Which makes sense because we did agree to, so the help stipend that was in here. The stipend should be 1,200, correct, Mac? Because you're the only one not taking it. Okay. And for one employee, full year, $1,200 is what was agreed on. Okay, did we have any other questions on the road section before we let her go finish brushing her teeth?
She's gonna do the road account first for Wednesday, right?
What's that?
She's gonna do the road for us on Wednesday.
Yeah. We're gonna need the road
Broken out.
reworked along with the salaries in there. Or not salaries, but the estimated pay. That makes sense.
Rework with, what do you mean? For estimated price?
Yeah, well, like up at the top, it's budgeted amounts.
Yeah.
And we don't have anything in there.
Yeah,
But
nobody, never like went over individual amounts last year.
right, so this is for the 2023, which we just discussed the other day, before you were there. It was 6.5%. And I think Mac, you had taken, Mac likes round numbers, so he instead of being like, I don't know, one of them was like 57 cents. It was rounded to a 60, or one of them was rounded down, like, yeah, two of them were rounded up and one of them was rounded down. They basically cancel each other out, so it wasn't that big of a deal. And Mac was the one that got rounded down, so he was fine with that. It was checked before. So Mac, if you have those, do you have those numbers still written down? On the warrant, okay. Carrie, do you have the warrants down? there?
Because they went into effect, right? They're for
Yeah,
this
that way
pay
if you could
period.
Just,
That's it, though.
yeah, that way you could budget them for a full-time year-round position, and then we can have an idea to go from there. Okay. Was there any others on the road? We're coming up low on the road and we're not.
I don't see how we are.
We're missing one truck payment, I believe.
No, it's there. I double checked.
So it is there.
That
Okay.
total is correct.
Okay.
We take this and we add this.
Mhm.
It's more than what's here from last year.
Mhm.
So we're not coming up short per se.
We're looking at it differently.
I was just taking what she presented as road expenses, took the salaries, added the bottom line of the bills
Okay.
together, and it comes up over $400,000.
So it's that.
He found it.
Okay.
I don't know if this includes the salary increases or not, Josh. The 185.
Well, that's what we were just discussing is what last year and what we budgeted for this year. So
74.
there you go.
Goes 3.
That's.
Yes.
when
All
you
right.
add this
I think-
And this.
Is there any other questions for? Any other questions for her before we let her go?
3, 6, 3, 4.
No? All right.
Nope. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
All right.
Which one?
No.
Somebody's Morse code over there. Of course.
Yeah, I was wondering where that was coming from.
Somebody's phone's going on. Minus
Okay.
86. 86.
That's correct.
84 equals.
Well,
So that would be
This
the
number
difference
here.
between last year's and what's on the current
Mhm.
paperwork increase. Okay.
And I think a lot of that was you're gonna find
so.
in fuel.
Yeah, fuel went up.
okay. Yep. So there's a discrepancy. Can't believe none of you guys
Because
caught
that's this year,
this
right?
point.
This is what we budgeted this year.
This
This is this year,
Yes.
what we budgeted.
For 23, yes.
that one.
Oh, Susan.
That makes more sense.
not the same thing.
No,
Doesn't change the total, right? There's the right number for the total.
So we said 1,000.
um,
I'm just trying to compare it to past years.
See where they big increases? Increase.
Oh, yeah, not a math major. Me neither.
yeah,
What was? Salaries.
no, that's wrong. This one's wrong, Matt.
You gotta redo
This one's gotta be reworked for pay. Just so everybody's on the same page. The road warrant, which luckily will be here Wednesday, had max regular pay. Lower than another employees, that's what I call. Yeah, the number's not right, so in order to budget that correctly, we gotta have the right numbers. So that one should be. Zero. Is the other one right, no, Mac? That's your 2750.
That's right.
There you go.
Handwritten one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, okay. So yours was the only one that's messed up. Matt.
Hmm.
As long as you understand. She'd have to go through and do all the withholdings and everything, do all that. I mean, probably could, but it'd be a lot of math that I don't want to do right now. Sorry. So that allows for that. Well, that's the way, yeah, I think she can cut it with, well, no, we'd have to re-sign the entire, we'd have to re-sign the entire road warrant.
I said, no, we meet in 2 weeks.
And then cut
Actually,
to,
we have another short week, work week coming up.
Mhm.
This is the
Yeah.
total salary. We have to sign off next week.
Fiscal year 20.
right, but we'd have to, we'd have to do the math all the way. up through for it
the dime.
Completely,
The amount for 2023 hasn't increased the dime, but it's not accurate.
would I have, I'd have to change the number at the bottom too, though, right? Can I do that?
That's
at
what
the
we
end?
budgeted.
Right now?
I don't know what we spent.
That's what we budgeted, but that's what I'm saying is this is
No,
what.
we gotta keep going with this part.
23.
All right,
Oh,
so,
yeah, that was the question. We didn't know
Right.
if these were adjusted,
22s or 23s, because look, that isn't adjusted. That's 22's number.
right?
which one are we looking at?
So,
Salaries for the road crew.
Right,
You got a
so,
book, it's page 15.
so what we did, and that's when we were talking with Mac, is we looked back real quick at what we've actually spent this year.
Yeah.
Which is, 165
For salaries,
for salaries
2022.
for 2022.
Right.
Five of that, almost five of that, 4,700 being Lance.
Right.
For ARPA, which will be reimbursed, not ARPA, sorry. Jeez,
FEMA.
don't shoot me.
FEMA.
FEMA,
Right.
which will be reimbursed,
Mhm.
which makes that realistically,
160.
160,
Right.
which builds in an extra 25,000.
Which should cover their
Which should
raises.
cover their raises and
Including
overtime.
overtime. Okay, cool.
That's what
Then,
Matt
yeah,
figured.
all right.
Because that number,
So that'll
the
hold.
160 is with overtime.
Okay, yeah, so that should hold then.
Yeah. And that's the numbers that she's gonna,
Should.
did you want the actual, like the numbers of their pay? That's their hourly rate if you want.
All
to
right,
do
I
that.
remember this.
So, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
just to be clear, we're going to redo that warrant. And because we've got 2 that are correct on there and 1 that isn't, we're gonna just do 1 warrant for max.
Correct. We're gonna strike out max pay, subtract that from the total, adjust the total of that warrant. And Mark and Dan will be paid normally. And we'll just have to cut Mac a check
See you later.
Thursday or
Thursday.
whatever. Yep. That helps.
Thank you.
Yep. All right,
Thank you for clarifying that.
clear as mud.
I'll try to tell her in the morning.
All right, so our budget now for general expenses after striking, correcting and adjusting. 297,950.
Say again.
Sorry, 297,950.
Last year.
For
Road.
right, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
Still trying to work. it. So general fund last year. 281,080. This year without carrying the pennies, because I figured with that many zeros, the pennies weren't gonna be a big deal. Is 297,950. You wanna work the percentage on that, or is everybody comfortable putting that in
Is there tax rate?
on the warning?
Yeah, we're gonna get another chance to look at all that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And we can adjust this. This is the.
Saying the general.
287, what?
297,950. Cost of living, I don't.
It's under 7%.
Yeah. 6% on the money.
Use the original number divided by the difference.
Yep. Multiplied by 100.
Yep.
All right, so moving along. Last weekend. Equipment fund. We have in the past put in $15,000 for the equipment fund. Does everybody agree with that? Continue.
Yes.
HF Brigham Library will be filled in after their emergency meeting tomorrow
Right.
and covered for Wednesday. You had road, you worked out the road for us.
The total?
That was the numbers you just showed me.
All right, put that. I had the increase. That's
Sorry.
three.
That was what we asked for last year.
That's our furnace.
Okay.
It's the second from the bottom number, 463.
It's a tough number, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I clicked it.
Yeah, we gotta work on that one a little bit. Like, I can't find
All right, so
where there's a big enough
According
discrepancy to account for
the
that.
math that they just did,
We need to work on that.
the road budget
To page 14
needs to
again.
be adjusted.
Budget?
Yep.
Hockey.
Borrow your hard copy. There, those numbers. Last year, we voted in $386,384.84.
Yep.
This year. And this is. where
400.
I said we need to look at this again and
Yeah.
figure it out.
463.
463,793. My gut tells me that there's some doubled up. expenditures in here.
It's just, I'm not picking up on it. I'm not finding it. It's gotta be there somewhere.
We got to fine tooth comb that one.
Yep, this one needs to
I'll
be.
close it. This should seem complete. They're fine.
Yeah,
Was removed, right?
you have the previous year there.
Hmm.
Compare side by side.
Yeah, the lists aren't the same. That's what makes
Oh,
it.
it's increased 2,000.
Library will be.
Yeah.
No.
That's
yeah,
one that we'll know
10,000.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
we'll know tomorrow. Fuel.
Same thing with the rollover. The rollover for the library will be determined tomorrow. Now the phone. Well, it'll be determined tomorrow in their meeting and agreed upon on Wednesday, yes.
$50. That's up 1,500. Are they in order of the?
No. That would be way too easy.
Oh, repair fund is,
Repair, it's a part of it. Take a minute
no, it's a separate line item.
Well,
Maybe
there's
the
a bunch
22
there.
is added into this.
It's a separate line item.
This one is a line item that.
Yeah, I saw that we asked about it. That's right where I
Here.
got confused why. it
But the
showed it.
repair fund is a line item down here.
Yep.
And it's separate from the three already.
I saw it pulled out.
Excuse me.
New equipment, gas, first building,
Shut.
500.
This is one, there's also a line item. We just put that one in.
There's not that many people.
Yeah.
This is 2,000 there. Is 30,000. Oh, it's. Equipment diesel. We got 35, there's 5,000.
Oh, wait, gravel pit, geese, principal, okay,
Gas is nothing.
86.
Those are the ones that have not been.
I'm just gonna stick a damn tissue up my nose.
Oh, we rolled gas right into something else this year. And it's not enough to make any difference. I know we salt chloride,
Well, we had diesel fuel equipment.
5. Where is it? Chloride contract? No, what's it under?
So
36,000 is the principal,
so
interest and expense.
what I'm concerned about is
That's
this.
just 4K.
So
500.
Linda, just because you're still here, has Bakersfield Garden Club, have they
Equipment rental.
become a, okay?
You need to know by Thursday?
Wednesday night,
Okay.
whether or not they are, if they are a, yeah, that's the words. It's, yeah, it's a,
Just be unincorporated non-profit.
okay. If they achieve that status, I have no problem putting this in as a line item. If they do not, I am completely willing to put it in next year as a line item. Is that fair? Okay, so that will remain. on the list.
That one.
2,000.
So added line items. Sorry, Maple Grove. No, I saw Ron's request in here. Was it 15 this year? I thought so. You get all these requests that are, 2 or 3 pages. And then you get Ron, that's like 2 lines. We'd like this much, please, if you don't mind.
You
How much does it want?
15,000, I believe.
15,000 for what?
There's some right here.
Part of that
Quite a bit.
is, part of that is
Yep.
for tree removal. You have 4 trees that need to be taken out. And 4 others that need to be pruned.
I thought they still had quite a bit of money
That
in there.
extra.
Oh, principal.
Okay, how is that?
Take gravel stone.
So, at this point, Gary, it is more or less just their request
Right.
going on to the warning.
Mhm.
It's up to the, well, it's not up to, it's the,
Voters.
yeah, it's up to the voters, which you are one to question during town meeting, but Maple Grove Cemetery has requested 15,000. Which, again, just be ready to, if questioned. Last time, I think people asked, why didn't you ask for more? So you never really know how town meetings. That's right. You never really know how they're gonna go on that one.
Right.
Historical Society, that's right here. Shall the town appropriate sum of $10,000 for the Bakersfield Historical Society Court? 10,000.
We didn't have a 10 on this year.
Added line
Do we
item,
have a Taylor?
which
Did not have a 10 on this year.
could be put in.
You're finding a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there.
That's all I'm picking up.
We're
is a
gonna bring it
couple
down
of
here.
them.
You want to take a whole other sheet of paper for that?
I can add it to the bottom. There's only 2.
45,
Yep. There is a
95.
couple.
And this one's already in there.
Yeah.
This is if they
No,
get the 401.
This one is if they get proof of,
12,000.
Nonprofit
then
status.
we'll add it. Yep.
Okay, so just leave a space.
Picking up
Right,
12,
so
13,000.
PCC for 500.
5,000, 7, 9, 10, 5. 13,000. Like 1350, what did you get?
I'm just gonna put C attached because we're gonna.
Yep.
And. Why can't I remember what this one is? I know what it is, but I can't remember what the name of it is.
What is it?
They were on the agenda earlier today. Listers.
Westers, yep.
Oh, hmm.
20.
$150 more.
Correct. Shall the voters authorize the select board to establish a reserve fund for the townwide reappraisal in accordance with 25 VSA 2804? Number 2 is shall the town authorize the surplus funds in the amount of the leftover funds, which will need to be determined by Maria,
1,000.
to be transferred to the grand list fund for reappraisal fund. So moving it
There's a big
into
one.
the fund for the reappraisal. And then number 3 is shall the town appropriate an additional $10,000 for the reappraisal fund to start that fund and build it off what is left over.
You want to put the date that we anticipate that to?
75.
I believe with what they said tonight, it looks like it's 2 to 3 years out. 26, 27, I think is what I wrote down in my notes.
Yep.
So we're looking at 4 years of voting in $10,000. It may not be enough, depending on what the reserve fund has in it, the surplus of the reserve fund.
Correct.
So that may need to be adjusted next year. But that's something that once we see how much has been moved in and how much is there.
And if
can
we
make that
secure,
adjustment.
and if we secure quote
Grants.
for it and grants.
Yes.
Insurance.
I'm gonna put down here number 23. Bakersfield
It's actually down.
Garden Club.
Disability.
For the amount of
That's actually
1,500.
down.
Pending.
Nonprofits.
IRA
Service,
6 grand. That's the same. That the same. Building expense, where the heck is building expense?
That is on there again. See attached.
Part of it's here, Lance, I think. If you look on page 15.
15. Orders, so they're all.
Here we have some security and Medicare broken out. Here they're on the same line item, right? If you just take that line item. Go across. Right? That's 14.3.
Yes.
Yep.
We're right now at 21,003.
Give them to me. We can speed down.
Social Security.
I'll read them out there.
Which is gonna be.
Social Security, we've got-
Yeah.
$7,500 increase in one.
Very over my shoulder. Make sure we get the right amount.
Social Security.
My eyes are crossing right now. I'm gonna read through these and Josh is gonna copy the amount down.
Separate line.
This is for St. Albans Police Dispatch, Central Dispatch.
Yeah, that's,
In the general.
we probably,
Yep.
we don't have Medicare here.
Amount
They're added
should be
together here, so when you go and see
here
what we spent.
under-
Right?
Yeah, well,
That's
it's
We
the-
got
probably
you got a
should be
bid
just-
on that or it's
Probably
it's
No,
just a flat fee? Flat fee.
Well, the question is the Medicare separate? Because it's a 75, it's a $2,200 increase.
That's the contract that needs to be signed.
Versus last year, but then you throw this
That and that. go
Yeah.
together. 5365. Pending, so that one is again pending approval, it gets signed.
That's over 20,000 there. Where are we out?
With that.
Missisquoi River Basin Association.
Yep. Let's go swim.
Going, $600 donation. For
Oh, we were 77.
$600.
So just so you guys are clear, we are going through the small items, not small items, the requests, while you're
I'm listening.
double checking that. Okay.
Yeah, I could hear what you're going.
Okay. If you have any questions, when one pops up, don't be afraid to yell.
Yeah, Home Health Agency,
County Home Health, sorry. Yep.
2,776.
13, they're 7,500.
It's right here is
Just so we can see. where we
25,
were.
7,500, 8,500, there's
Last year's right here.
No,
10,000, 12,000.
Well, I have those.
warning from last year.
You get the electricity.
So what did we do last year?
Same.
Same, okay.
Top one, yep.
Ditch straw mud, yeah, I got that, that's up.
Lori's House,
That's
Voices
up
Against
25.
Violence.
Fuel's up 5K,
Yep, I've got that.
right? Gas is up a little bit. And then you got heating, fuel, north and south.
Might,
That's up 3.
might be new. You want to add that as another?
I missed that one. Where is it?
Actually somewhat in alphabetical, go down to heating, fuel. North and south.
North
That
and
one,
south.
is one that.
They had it. at-
7 and 5, yeah, I missed that one.
Fair enough, 3K, I think if I saw that right. It was under one heading for $4,000 last year.
Let's,
Yep, 3,000.
Set it aside.
Let's-
for it now.
Is it listed in there?
I had this.
No.
Newport roadside.
so we'll table.
Vermont, yep. Vermont Adult Learning.
1,500, wasn't it?
So
Here,
That one's not on there.
and if I remember. Roadside mowing was 4,000
Okay.
Alternative.
to 2,000.
Yeah. It's a work alternative, right?
1,500 for the salt and the
Not
chlorine.
really.
Lucas Williams Foundation.
That one is on here.
Shop expenses up 2,000.
$1,000.
Social Security, Medicare. Okay, so
Lucas Williams.
You want to go up on?
Yeah, I
Foundation.
mean,
Youth-
that one, we gotta figure out what that, because if you add them both together this year,
Does it say what
that
it's
makes
for?
like a $7,000 increase. but-
75, 65.
Yeah,
So then you put it down, that's it, that's all it got.
I mean, I think, the top number, the
this
16,000.
is Green Up,
included
Vermont.
Medicare Again, but it wasn't
Now it's separated and it's.
right,
Looks like it.
because it doesn't make any sense that it would go up
Like
$7,000
$1,000
from
and-
last year.
What did they ask for last year, Terry?
I didn't find another,
H.
I didn't find another space for it.
Green up Vermont,
100.
100.
$1,000?
One sec.
But you pulling out the payments, right? Pulling out some-
No, it's this
The 10
$1,000
ones are
scholarship.
just-
Let's see if they can pull it out of here.
But they were into the total,
Yeah,
right?
$100.
$100.
Yeah,
They were in the principal total of the 309. Right here.
Vermont Center for Independent Living.
Doesn't make
On
any
that,
sense.
okay, what did they ask for last year? Item K.
Vermont.
yeah.
VCIL.
Social Security and Medicare being 14,300 last year.
Vermont Center
1,000
for Independent Living.
or $560 this year.
This is
Yeah.
for
That's a $7,000.
People who are disabled.
$565
supports and
I think that
I'll let you read it, but it's
Medicare.
$95.
is wrong.
it needs to come out. I think it's included in the upper, in the social security.
This is one of
Truck
hers.
payment. Where was
That would, now we're getting,
Franklin County Home Health.
We already have them down. They must have sent.
the
us
truck
something.
payment is correct.
Is it?
Yeah.
No increase at all from last year?
No,
Because
it's
I don't
set payment.
see,
It's a set payment.
but what I'm
Yeah,
saying
Franklin
is,
County Home Health Agency.
there's 55,000,
Yes.
right? And we're saying 20,
And I think
that's 75,000. Look at this.
We didn't say money.
Lance, we're saying 55,000 this year, 56 almost.
Yeah.
I don't see truck payment in last year's.
200 they want to
Where did you find it? Roadside.
That item
over-
C.
Yeah.
Same this year,
How much?
200. This is Franklin County Industrial Development.
Right, but that's what I was saying.
It's a dues notice. It's actually a bill,
This number, I don't find truck payment at all. We getting the
VLCT.
itemized?
Because it was in 22. We just rolled that into the budget.
Insurance section.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So if
what
you
I'm
take the
wondering.
55,000, you add the 20 odd we found here,
Mhm.
you got most of your 77,000.
That's it.
I think the truck
is
payment,
actually
I don't see
our
the truck
dues.
payment. I didn't see last year's piece, but I don't see the truck payment in the road account.
0.775.
Right, road account.
No,
where
it's
is it?
2,707.
I don't see the truck payment, do you?
No, because it was a line item.
This is
Right.
for dues.
It's
It's a dues notification for Vermont's League of Cities and Towns.
This year.
No, it's in there and is insurance, and this isn't insurance. This is what we pay as a fee. I do not know.
Yeah, light.
That is a good question. I didn't see it.
Well, we had VLCT audit, VLCT property and casualty, and
One is the one that
Taxes
covers
versus the-
us.
then insurance.
And Maria said those are not together.
Cross now, because we're in
Uh-huh.
42.
Do one.
Oh, I saw that in there. though.
But I think.
No,
I've
we
seen
did
it
that.
in the bottom for the insurance, which is what
It's in there.
covers us,
No, I
property
thought
and casualty.
I'm just not seeing it in the
The
breakout.
dues?
And now it's in the breakout.
Mhm.
That could explain the jump.
Yeah, remember,
It was a-
was $3,000.
It was a separate line item
Okay.
in 21. 55,800.
Well, that may be included then.
Which is correct over here, but.
But if you
um,
add it to the.
We've
Not
got
added in our
road
request file,
expense
though.
itself.
No.
versus
That's
separate
Yeah,
items.
that's-
That's taking 55,000, you have the 20. Now you're
Right,
only like
so you take
2,000
you
out.
take 55,000 off your line items.
Is that same
and
as
add it
last
to the
year?
road budget.
Right, that's how we're seeing. Can I?
So-
Come back, correct? Let me just add my numbers
that's yours.
back together. Yeah. No, that's okay. Let's just see what that comes up to what we
We
had.
already
these
do Franklin
increases.
County Industrial Development
Yes,
Corporation,
$200.
We had 2,500 for
Northwest Counseling,
100 plus 15.
Last year.
15, plus
same this year.
600.
5,000.
22.
And this one we already did, I think.
3,000
Not Center for Independent Living, $95.
plus.
Yes.
Which one?
Redundant request, VCIL.
55.
We, it's a double request.
Yeah.
Well, it's just not showing. in the
Fairfield
list.
Community Center.
Yeah, well, it was in, it was in the 300.
Um,
Right.
No.
They want to increase to
'Cause that's the only thing I can figure out. Show it in
It's in
front
the
of us.
386.
The two and put the other two towards our
200
fireworks. Their own.
Yep.
fund.
plus 75, 65 plus
Are each one of these are voted in
55,
separately? Go
832,
through them line by line.
Mhm.
that 84
I mean,
equals.
it doesn't. It's not gonna hurt.
That's what I
anything to
come up
put it
with.
$4,000
Added all the
to the
numbers.
taxpayers.
No, I
If
put
they
it,
wanna.
With the truck.
I
$10,000.
put it 4,000, and
That's
the only
the
reason I
truck
would say that is that
Truck
I
payments.
volunteer
already
down
done.
there,
So
and I
you-
see a lot of
Yeah.
our residents in there.
It's in
Every week.
the three.
So there's a lot of
In
people.
2021, we did a line item. In 2022, I don't see it. in the budget.
No, it's in 2022. It's in that 386.
When they come for ARPA funds.
Yep.
Which I'm pretty sure they are going to come for.
Yep.
Well, then I don't know
But
where
if we're
that
giving them
$50,000
$4,000 is in taxes. Then.
where that extra
it would be less than
50,000 is. See this again. There it is. 55, 8,
Can only be changed.
82,
Just have to
84.
change it on the floor.
Well, with the Medicare and everything else, we found a third of it.
It's
Mhm.
their statistics.
25, 26,000.
Northwest Solid Waste.
Yeah, it's gonna freaking third job just for these taxes next year.
Northwest Solid Waste District.
Well, most of it is
Where was that one at? Terry, what was
Oh, where
B?
is it?
stuff we don't have control over all this.
Right.
Now, did you give taxes back when they went down? That's what.
No, I do not.
Okay.
We're gonna need fuel. We're gonna need to heat the
Thanks
garage.
for asking. I get no free money, none.
$5,000 increase.
Northwest Solid Waste.
I just pick up another job every time.
We're just guesstimating.
We
It could
never,
be even
yeah, we
worse.
never anticipated diesel fuel would be over $6.
Right.
Interesting amount.
And that follows through with the
Looking
heating.
for
fuel, too.
$1,527.60.
1,500.
27,
Well, what's it for?
60 cents.
Where's
Is
your
it
count
like-
line?
I mean, that's such a weird amount.
Solid waste.
I
I
just-
think that's their
I just
operating
don't see-
cost per capita.
I think
And that's
you're
how they figure that. Because
This one can
Yeah.
come off.
they've come in and explained
I
that
believe.
before.
Yep.
Red Cross,
We're still 70,000.
still here.
We're
G.
still-
how much
We're
is
still
that?
50,
Oh,
52,000 out. I
Item, Red Cross.
They said Jeep.
don't know where the 52,000 is coming from. Except for
Brenda
maybe-
even put one in here for her Jeep club.
I did.
500.
I just don't see it.
Has it changed?
No, it has not
The-
changed.
the Truck is in that number.
Right.
Did we do this?
But that's what I'm
Is
saying.
this where we're based?
I
on
guess.
association?
I don't think there isn't that much
Yeah.
difference.
Health insurance is almost, what's the health insurance?
This one. It's just about the right number though.
Right.
That one was just the.
Health insurance,
The appraisal information.
2,000 last year.
This
Which
is,
one, the health insurance,
River-
28,000.
yeah,
this year. We
Crusaders.
don't have max 1,200 in here, but
Right.
that just makes it even
Yeah.
worse. Let's not even count that.
we did that after last year.
There was
We
an
did after the
afterthought, yeah.
Yeah,
budget.
it's there though.
Um,
I'm gonna write that up.
$500 is their ask again.
Actually,
Oh, I
no,
forget
I was gonna
that.
say it's on here, so I wonder if we, it's on there as a line item, isn't it, Terry?
Yeah.
And, yeah, so we added it last year. It was
There's
2 years,
nothing else
last
in
year, yeah.
here. There's nothing else.
2
in
years
here
ago, it was,
Except for the truck.
It was too late.
yeah.
We didn't,
I mean, I know we
Years.
had it somewhere,
first
said
year,
it's being paid, but I don't know if we ever saw it in the.
Northwest Regional Planning, I think we've already talked, we've already done that.
Northwest Regional Planning.
I don't even see the number in the budget.
6 last year.
this is again a per capita.
Yep.
Requested 1,477.
5,832.
Yeah, because this breaks down our census.
Yep. I thought she said 26.
It was 1,426 last year.
Do that. I don't know how.
Just
but
for,
have to do
to
that.
break down the response, it's a report on the responses. I don't know if this is an ask for money. It's just a annual report that they give us. About what they provide.
Because I don't think I've ever seen them.
Money numbers, there's no money numbers.
No money. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only other thing
I
it could be
agree, yeah,
is
it's a
something to
breakdown.
calculate.
Of what they did. Industrial development.
We've already got that one, $200.
Yep. Is this our contract with the fire department? Or just the?
No,
rural?
this is the Rural Fire Protection Task Force.
Oh, yeah, that's. what we did
Jay.
Last year. We had.
Yeah, Vermont Rural Fire Protection Task Force.
100 last year.
See what the ask was. Hard to pick this out of there. Let's go to the last page. Outguessed. There it is.
The application for it. I don't even have a request.
Back on the page. Yeah, these are reports.
Question.
What was the
86.
amount? Does it say on
$100
there?
last year.
You know what else is crazy, Lance?
Hmm.
If you take the salaries
Mhm.
and you add it to the road account,
Mhm.
it doesn't
Don't want
equal
any money this year. They just want
386.
to Tell us about them.
Yeah, here. Oh,
No,
from last
no,
year?
from last year.
Oh, great.
Take the salaries, right?
Get out of there.
Take your salaries. 185, right? And then I did the 309,652. At the bottom of the road account.
67.
I'm gonna line up somebody to put heat. I have wood heat.
It was $500,000.
This is interesting. These are grants.
Right, but we've always asked.
Have you looked?
That's curious. If I buy this out, the tan loads.
These are grants that have to
I
be
got
in
the
by the
line fee on the
15th
road account,
of April, 15th of June, and 15th of August.
92.
We need to look at.
That was Clay should take up the tan load.
There's not a pair. These are the guys that set up the rural hydrants.
77.
They set up the rural hydrants by the side of the road.
No.
Anyway, I'll look at this and I'll report on.
No, it
this.
doesn't.
That makes sense?
So do we have one?
Yeah, but
Age well?
what we're
Say here.
I mean, this is
Did
what we
not
have
see
here, right?
one.
Where is
So
it?
this is what it's showing in here.
Well, then this is the number.
This is the number we're looking at though, right? Is the total. And then we take the salaries and add it together,
Task force is not.
Right.
asking.
and what winds up,
We have two that aren't on there. Right. More adult learning is asking. for-
I'm gonna put this on my desk because I want to look through them tomorrow. And There's tons that applied for.
Yes, 386, 384, 84.
For building hydrants in areas like.
We had
where there's stream
$22,250
So.
increase in
Single pump.
expense, expendables,
Stream.
fuel,
Mhm.
fuel
We have
oil,
a
salt.
Our dry hydrants.
Yeah.
So just looking.
Insurance is listed, what was it?
This one,
The insurance I
they're
have,
asking for $1,000.
what kind of insurance are we talking? Health insurance?
Lori's House, which is a
$28,000.
Voices Against Violence. It's a part of
What
the
was it for
domestic
last year?
violence network.
Where's it out of?
It's in Albany.
I've never even heard of
It'll
it.
be under
You're not
salary.
supposed to.
Yeah.
This is where women, battered women go.
No, I know,
the
but
shelters over
usually,
Oh,
I know there's one down there, but I've never heard of that name.
I've been with an agency that's doing the money, maybe. for
The
20
only thing I
years.
see that comes close, if it's as close as.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. I've heard of the other one. It's on Main Street.
If I get it here.
Yeah, the truck plus the increases makes it,
Comes up close.
comes up pretty close.
So
Yeah.
over the last 10 years,
I don't know if we've ever.
1,200
I
adults and
don't.
children have stayed.
We never showed it.
Excuse me.
Each by, I mean, you break that down by 10 years, that's
This is.
12 people a year. that
Yeah,
use it.
this is the.
Well, and they can stay there long term. There
Right.
may be no restriction on
Right,
that.
well, yeah, because there's 33,000 nights
This much over last
that
year.
are new, so I mean, that seems like,
That's heads in the bed times nights.
right,
No, we got it. Be a hell of a lot easier.
I mean,
Yep.
$1,000 seems like a big ask on that though.
What's it cost to keep a family?
Yeah.
10
We
days.
got enough on this list.
And then,
Huh?
Well, where did I see that 70,000? It's here somewhere.
70,000 or what?
Or,
One line item?
yeah,
on
so
the learning one is.
state aid, right here.
There you
It's
go.
93,000
I don't think it's a
The
woman.
one or Shane?
in receipts.
No.
Our state aid, yeah. And last year it was 90,000.
I didn't know. one.
Yeah. You got 90,000 for,
Oh, Robin?
that would do it. That would do it right there. It would make it a
Do you
little,
wanna get the meeting back under control?
Yeah.
yeah, but we can't
So-
take that off from what we've got, can we?
Well,
Can we take that off the budget?
That may be
That's
enough.
it. That's it then. If we take it, so what, that would be 373. If we take 90,000 off,
Again, close.
Told you it is.
and that's, we had 386 last year.
it sounds like you guys have,
We found 20 different roads. We just don't know which one's the right one.
okay,
We see things, we see increases that we put in this year up to about 26,000.
Okay.
One of which though may be removed because we see that the social security and Medicare were added together in prior years.
Yep.
And this year they're separated and it's a heck of
Boom,
like
boom.
$7,000 increase, 7,500.
Last year, the combined number was 14,000.
Yep.
So you're looking at 75, 65 there. We also see, we're trying to figure out, you know, there were different things in here that like the can loans were in this and everything else.
Yeah, that's, but something we can use on the credit side is the state aid, which was about $90,000. I don't know, I don't see it anywhere here in
So
the,
if I took that 90,000 off, let's see what that number comes up to.
that comes up to about, yeah, it's a good number. It's telling me that we should keep our budget about the same.
185.
So what you're saying is we allotted last year for $90,000 in
Last year we adjusted for 90, yeah, we did.
We
At
adjusted
the
it.
last, we did it at the last minute because we forgot about it. Because we had the same damn problem last year. Yeah. And we took the state aid off and it all of a sudden, boom,
If we add.
now it's coming back to me, Mac.
I feel, right, it was a lot
Do
closer.
you remember something like that?
I remember there being, a $90,000
We're a lot closer.
sum.
Well, hold it. We only got 463 for a total. Where the hell?
Well, no, I did the salary plus last year's expense minus the 90,821.60. And that's what it came up to. Well, that's fine. Can you play with this nicely? That's what it came out with.
Run that one by me slowly again, because I missed,
So I took the salaries from last year
which are 185,000.
and then I took the 309,652, which was last year's 2022 budgeted road expense. Right, which came up to a total of 494,654, and I minused out the 90,000.
Yeah, but the salaries are supposed to be included in the.
I did include 185.
What's
That's this.
that number again?
This is the road account number, 309,652. And then I minused that, this was last year's, and then I minused out the 90,000.
And it comes up to,
403.
but we had 386.
So it's not exactly right on it. The only other thing I think we do is take out.
What did we come up with?
I think right now, if we just take that 463 and back the 90,000 out of it. And it's 90, it's going to be 475. I mean, I'd call it 475 and call it good.
I really hope you mean 375.
375, I do.
273.
So you're saying it would actually be.
Oh,
less?
last year was 386. So if we leave it the same as last year.
Minus.
Carrie, can I see last year's proposed, last year's warning? Yes, please.
It's right
There you
here.
go. You take the
Right here.
90,000 out of what we have.
I just.
Last year's warning right there.
Okay.
I still don't think that makes sense.
Why is that?
Because we have, that's what it would come out to. We have
360, yeah.
had it from last year, $25,000.
Yes,
Much of it.
last year we padded significantly because of the projected fuel costs,
Right.
This year, we've done the same. We've added on just in case.
just in case, but we did not pad as extreme.
Right, we did
This
a
year.
$5,000 increase this year for
Yeah.
diesel.
Right, last
So-
year I bet we were closer to,
And we
So
did
that
a-
one, less,
We did a 3K.
See the state aid right here?
Well,
that's the credit.
right.
Last year was.
Yep.
Okay,
All right, so just pull everybody back here for a second. So these guys down here have been working on sorting out the road section because we were significantly more than we thought of. And what they have come to, which is coming back to me now, kind of like a, should have taken notes, I guess. Every year for the past, what? How long, Mac, would you say? 10 years? We've been receiving that? Forever? Okay, So one of the things that we budgeted in last year, which reduced the amount, and we haven't thought of this year because we've been looking strictly at our budget, is approximately $90,000 in state road aid. So if you take that. Sorry, can you see that?
386.
We take the 380, no, the 463
That's the total here.
is the total.
Yeah.
And subtract 90,000 from that, it comes out to about 375.
Yeah.
Now, knowing that everything has gone up, the budgeted last year was 386, 384, 84.
And we know that we're increasing by what we put on here, anywhere up to about $18,000 worth of if projected fuel increases and things like that, and
So-
increase the health insurance and such.
Right. So what John is saying is instead of the 463, if we budget for an even 400,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking.
an even 400,000 for the roads would put us where we
Should say-
need.
14,000.
Everybody,
What's the increase on it?
386.
15 divided by 3, about 5%, I'd say.
Um,
And
Right.
it's, yeah. 3 and 6, it's 14,000.
yeah, hit a wrong button somewhere.
Oh, I mean, it's 15,000 over 300 or over 400,000, I guess it'd only be like,
Oh.
3.5%.
God damn it.
What's that?
I have this figure on here, 399, 02164.
I don't know where that one came from.
3.6%.
Oh, I was pretty close. So if we bring that, Carrie, if we bring that budget up to 400,000 even, it is an increase of 3.6%. Is everybody comfortable with that?
Thank you, Mac.
Yes, thank you, Matt.
I forgot
because
about that
was one of the-
stupid state aid.
Versus the 6%.
Yes.
Just like working with FEMA.
Yeah.
6% on the town. There, that goes there.
Yeah.
Now to serve. Solve world hunger.
Well, I feel like the reason the town was higher than the road was we built in quite a bit of the road last year.
Yeah.
And we haven't built in any raises for the town office employees. Or, Brigham Library is the only thing that needs to be filled in. We have, 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 line items to be added.
Mr.
They're
Chairman,
all attached here.
I just wanted to revisit, this one for Lori's house.
Okay.
Having been a victim of domestic violence this last year.
Okay.
I'd like the voters to be able to decide on, that amount of money. And if we can add this line, I would appreciate it.
Okay, so we're asking to add a line item in section 19, which is all of the others for a total of $1,000 for Lori's house.
Please.
Okay, does anybody have any issues with that at this point?
No.
Age well has been stricken. They did not ask. And Vermont Rural Fire Protection Task Force sent a paper, but we couldn't find where they were actually asking for information. It was more like, we're here to help you now. Here's some grant opportunities.
That was a relatively new one, isn't it?
It might be, but if you look around at what Josh described as dry hydrants, They were the primary mover of.
Is that the ones who do the dry hydrants? They've been asking for $100 forever.
I'm gonna go through it tomorrow and try to pick out any ask that's in there. Also to see if we have, because many towns have gotten thousands of dollars of grants for work, so.
Is there another one?
It was not a line item last year.
I'm going to 21.
Did,
Got that in there, right? So that I don't.
Thanks.
did Lucas James Williams Foundation
They
ask
did.
again?
Yep. You want me to go through the ones that have asked? It's a short
Yeah.
list.
Go ahead.
Franklin County Home Health for $2,776. Franklin Northwest Solid Waste District for $1,527.60. Franklin County Industrial Development Corp. for $200. Northwest Regional Planning Commission for $1,477. Missisquoi Valley River Basin Association for $600. American Red Cross for $500. Green Up Vermont is $100. It's based on population. Fairfield Community Center asked for $4,000. Vermont Center for Independent Living asked for $95. Northwest Counseling asked for $600. Lucas James Memorial asked for $1,000. Cat Crusaders of Franklin County asked for $500. And Lori's House of St. Albans asked for $1,000.
Thank you.
Those requests, except for a couple, haven't really changed much.
No, they haven't. It was actually, there's two that were taken off because, well, I'm gonna put a question mark next to this one, Brenda.
Which one's that?
The rural fire protection.
I think that one should stay on.
Well, if they didn't ask though, you'd be sending money to an
I
entity that.
looked through it once, but we'll clarify that one day.
There's a lot of, it's not a very well presented
No,
item. There's a lot of stuff going on in the presentation there.
Well, they provide a lot of safety for us. but-
All of this stuff here needs to go with this to Kathy, because this all gets put in the book,
Roger that.
okay, just in case.
Hmm.
Again, the only two numbers that are left to fill in on this are the Brigham Library and the rollover for Brigham Library. Okay, that being said, vote to use Australian ballot. Australian ballot method for voting only applies when specifically required by statute, municipal governments' charters, or when law explicitly enables voters to use it in certain items of town business. Three general subjects that the law enables voters to vote by Australian ballot include the elections of officers, budget articles, and public questions. Vote whether to use Australian ballot for budget articles. Shall the town of Bakersfield adopt all budget articles by Australian ballot pursuant to 17 ESA 2680C. Now, again, this is the wording that would need to be put into an item for the town to vote to go Australian ballot for budget items.
Moving forward.
Moving forward, correct. So for instance, road work would not be voted from the floor. It would be voted Australian ballot. General fund. More than likely, it would all be put into one lump sum. And it would be voted on that way, broke down in a informational meeting, much like we did before COVID happened and we were trying to move to the different fiscal year. Now, I am neither for nor against. It has been asked in the town. It has been argued about in the town. So
It got voted down.
to go Australian ballot,
Mhm.
how long ago?
Oh,
Your
gosh.
mic's not on either, Terry, sorry.
No.
Terry said that it got voted down and she's, how long ago?
A long time ago,
Okay. Was that,
because it was back when we went Australian ballot for school. I think they asked for the town at right around the same time.
Okay.
And they
would
voted
that
it down.
have been and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, would that have been when our town was more of a locally worked town rather than a commuter town?
I think we've always been a commuter town, but
To what extent, I mean, to a bigger extent now though, than I think.
probably more when the elders were here. Like, like Linda.
I want to, just a
When it was probably
clarification.
more when it was a farming community, when there was more people that attended
Right.
Yeah.
the,
I think now that people have gone through COVID and they had to vote.
right, exactly. It could be different.
So,
What's the question,
so
Mr. Chairman?
my question is, do we, I think, personal opinion, I think we should put it to the voters to determine whether or not we go Australian ballot or budgeted articles. Again, this will cut into the traditional
Oh, yeah.
town meeting,
Mhm.
but.
The only
it will
difference
give
is
it-
with it, is right now you can change it on the floor and vote it.
Correct.
Yep.
If you do Australian ballot, they either
Yes or no?
yes or no. And if they know, you've got to go back to the drawing board. And then you got to redo another whole Australian election again,
I
which is
completely
another
understand that.
expense.
Yep, without a doubt. And I guess that would be, the expense is to the same people that are voting it down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is an expense to the taxpayers. I think we have to make it an option.
I think we have to offer it.
I don't have a problem offering it. I'm just saying
Okay.
that those are the downfalls of it.
Yep, absolutely.
Is if it gets voted down, you then have to
What's the date on that, Mr. Chairman?
January 2023.
Okay, because the state legislature has passed laws supporting what has been in place for the last 2 years, and they've authorized it for another 2 years. So there may be other options available to us.
Okay.
I want to bring those on Wednesday. I'll clarify
Okay.
what's precisely available, because they argued this one in the first week of this session this year, and it passed.
So there is another article. So the first item, the way it's written, is shall the town adopt all budget articles by Australian ballots pursuant to state law. Second one is shall the town adopt its blank budgets, highway budget. You know, could you vote on the highway and the general expense budget by Australian ballot and still leave, you know, paving grants, or maybe the ones that stay the same, the paving, the bridge, the equipment fund, the equipment repairs, leave those. Those would be voted Australian ballot because they've always stayed the same, and still vote the bigger ones from the floor, or vice versa. There are multiple ways to word it.
Mhm.
And this is basically just, do we want to, which way would we like to vote that, or put that in?
So what would your business be for town meeting? Or would there be no town meeting and it'd just be informational meeting?
There would be informational meetings beforehand. You would still have your, there wouldn't be.
You wouldn't need
anything.
town meeting, right?
You wouldn't need, the town meeting would be basically like a polling day.
Right.
Yep.
There, you wouldn't need people to come and listen to anything. Could you do it
Correct.
2 weeks? Is it?
Which, There
There's
will
so
be-
many days you have to have your informational meeting before.
oh, without a doubt. And like
I
said
can't remember
before,
what
I'm
the
not
dates
pushing
were.
for or against, I'm just providing the information that.
I just, from a clarification standpoint, we also have the option of moving town meeting day. We have the option of scheduling it on a weekend, There are many things about the law that we didn't ever really drill down on over the last couple of years. But they've enabled it to be like it has been. But we also have the options, as you pointed out, of moving it to a more traditional format.
So you'll have all this information Wednesday?
Yeah, this is one of the things that it
I think
is.
Fairfax has theirs on Saturday. They don't do the traditional Tuesday anymore. Pretty sure
Well, it
they
makes it
do.
easier for people who work and if they want to be here to be a part of it, because a lot of companies don't give off for town meeting day. So, you know,
I have to take a vacation day.
Which is the reason that the towns people that I've heard complaining and wanting it to go to Australian ballot, their main reason is they don't get town meeting day off. anymore.
right. And they
There are
can't,
very,
they can't.
very few people who get town meeting off anymore.
Right.
So.
Well, also back in the day, these budgets were not this much money.
Right.
And you only get 15 people to vote on this amount of money.
So, yeah,
Correct.
Good point.
that also,
Maybe.
that also brings up another point that if we decide that we want to shift this to a weekend versus a Tuesday, then, and we're expecting more than 60 people to show up, we're 15, that this is not the proper room for it.
Well, that wouldn't be this year.
We want to do it this year
Voting
No,
for this
you
would be
can't.
for next
You
year.
have to vote on it first.
to move the town meeting day.
Yeah. Changing the town, they vote, change the town.
And
what
John,
town
we're
meeting
still not
is.
paying for the school to hold our town
I
meeting.
thought we'd have it at your house.
You can. I've held 60 some odd people there before.
Yeah, I was gonna say, town meetings have been smaller than some of your reunions.
These are the different things, change of date for town meeting, how that can be put in. Change of time for town meeting, how that needs to be put in, change of location of polling place. The town can vote on it, but that's made by the BCA.
So if the town meeting day, the town decides that they want to stick with Australian ballot, then the rest of it is moot point. But then we should put in there the extra caveats in case it's shot down for Australian ballot, then we should follow up with either individual items for Australian ballot and or, you know, town meeting day moving to a day that more townspeople can come and actually participate in, making it a true town meeting day versus what it's been. At least opportunity wise.
If Australian ballot gets voted down, or does that have to be warned beforehand, or is that something that can get brought up and voted on then?
No,
And
it
it's
has
next
to
year,
be
the
warned.
primary year.
It has to be,
No,
that'll have to be,
The town has to vote if we decide to change location.
Yes,
right?
that's one of the ones I was just reading on the back of that.
Location, day, time.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Well, how could we change it to the school then? The town wasn't gonna vote on it.
the change of location of the polling place, the town may vote to change the location of its polling place. Otherwise, the locations are determined by the Board of Civil Authority.
The voting place is different
But
from
we're
town
part of
meeting day though, right? I mean, there is voting on town meeting day though.
Justice is based on the VCA.
So, you know,
Yeah.
so
So. that would-
change the
I don't
date
get
of
too
town
as
meeting.
well. Just get one.
The town may vote to start its annual town meeting on any of the 3 days immediately preceding the first Tuesday in March as follows. Shall the town change the date of its annual town meeting to blank day preceding the first Tuesday of March pursuant 17 VSA 2646B.
That's one that's actually changed.
That one is changed.
Yeah, if you want to do this in June, we could do it in June.
Town meeting day in June would be nice and toasty out, no mud.
I'm
Well,
just
then we
saying-
could do it on the park, John.
There you go.
So, is there, so this was printed off today.
Let me take a look.
No, it was because.
Oh, no, I
You told me it was.
I understand. It's this
I just like the shift of the
laws that
day.
have changed. This is not the constable one,
You know, that's the type of stuff that like the legislature should put out and be like, hey, this has changed and it might affect stuff that's coming up, in like 5 to 7 days.
Actually, the Secretary of State's responsibility.
So you'll bring the updated information Wednesday so we can make an informed decision?
You betcha.
Okay, so what else do we have?
I think at this point,
Mail,
What time do you want to say?
5:15.
5:15.
5:15.
That needs to be warned like tomorrow.
It's an annual thing.
Oh, okay.
I've been doing it, just
Good.
asking permission to go online, fill it out. No changes.
You're gonna be here.
Granted by me.
No, I'll try to be here at 5:15. I'll do my best. If I get here at 5:15, then it'll be tight. I just, because I don't know, I've got a lot of things going on at work right now. So
You
I
can
can't
talk-
guarantee I'm gonna be here at 5.
You could talk me through setting it up.
I'm not sure if I can get back. in time.
I'll do my best to have you going by 5:15. I don't want to make promises, but I should be able to have it running.
All right.
It's just cruising up, getting here in time. So, I put some stuff in there that I found in the web in the emails. There were 2 things, the American Red Cross, which I think we've already included, correct?
Yep.
And then the other one was something.
LVRT.
That's right, the bike trail. I couldn't remember what it was. So, Memorial Valley Bike Trail. They have a request?
Rail trail.
Rail trail.
Did we get a thing for that?
They sent it in the email. I just printed it out, so it was here.
How much are they asking? Jen?
I don't remember. I looked at it real quickly. It was right before I came.
Gosh, I didn't see that.
I am reading it as we speak.
Did you see that?
What?
The Memorial Valley Rail
He
Trail?
has it in his hands, Brian.
I am reading it as we speak.
Why did I-
That's because you haven't stopped talking to listen to me.
Tammy,
Tammy,
I brought it in with me. It was in the town mail email box, not the box here, but in our emails for the town of Bakersfield.
Okay, this is not a request for funds. One of the reasons we're reaching out is to invite your input on what is important to know about your town and how we can best introduce it into the many guests who will be traveling through it.
That rail
You will
trail
see-
is just gonna bring us tons of money.
All the people joining us on the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail, you will get to see a beautiful 1.5 acres of Bakersfield.
Swamp.
Yeah.
It's
It is, it's a swamp.
But it's
So right now-
it's a beautiful.
So
swamp
right
site.
now you can't get through there because it's all iced over from when it's
Right.
Right. Then the other one was the American Red Cross.
Right, and the American Red Cross we've already put in, so
Right.
we'll put.
The last time I read over there, it was,
So
I couldn't
in
get
this,
through.
They need to go into.
The water was over the road.
This will go with this.
So much time.
Oh.
All right.
What else do we have, Captain?
All right,
Trying to find my agenda.
Come on, Scupper.
Trying to find my agenda. I think that won't.
I'll be in for 4.
We're in the bottom section, others.
Financial
I have a
policies.
meeting with Kathy Lavoy for Brigham on Wednesday. It's a face-to-face meeting.
Okay.
I'm here for us.
You were here for all that?
Here.
Oh, you could have asked. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Oh, your first time. I have first time.
And
Oh, that's what they were waiting.
but in my email, I got this information about the Paul Room Historic Revitalization Grants.
Yes.
Again, because the town owns Brigham Academy, Brigham Academy is on the National Registry of Historic Buildings
God bless you, Pat Curtis.
for this grant, okay? And I think there's people at preservation
It was addressed to.
will work with Kathy Lavoy. This would be a good time to get the faces on those blocks fixed. All the towns around us got their.
I'm more worried about the rest of the building that's falling in than
It's not falling in, your house falling in before that one does.
not
think we're
at
gonna
least the
put-
chimney.
I think we're gonna put up.
They can fix the chimney too. This is the one that we applied for and didn't get because we didn't have the structural engineers report.
Thank you.
Where's,
Have a good night.
hey,
Thank you for coming.
have fun.
Next time, don't hesitate to be like,
Yeah, wait.
You
is there any
could have,
chance we can just,
Down here on the bottom.
is there any chance we can discuss this first?
So,
Sorry and thank you.
hey,
And we've got a squatter behind the historical society.
oh, nice.
Does the town do anything about that?
Call
No.
your local police department.
Okay. It's on town land, not historical society land.
I thought you just said she was.
Oh, here we go again. Behind the historical society, you don't have, you don't own that one.
oh, I think I may have heard about this. Is this the woman in the trailer there? Oh, the car, yes. Oh, God. Yep.
Is that silver one? Cause it was just parked at the front of the driveway that when I pulled in
No,
tonight.
that's the other
She
kid.
wasn't there,
Oh, wow.
is that the woman, did she have glasses and smokes a lot?
I didn't see her that close.
There was somebody there when we went sledding Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, that was fun.
All right,
She was there Saturday. Yeah, she was.
Get
there.
pretty damn cold.
Now the car.
Did she leave it in the tent or in the car?
warrants,
So
Like, so.
are we,
okay. Warrants and reports have been going.
5 or
through.
6, what?
We have
Morning?
reviewed the
No, at
mail.
night?
yes,
Financial policies have been to death.
what you got? Then others. He's just with the grant?
That's the
Yeah.
grants. Brigham Academy update was just given.
Way back when. No. Tour.
Oh, yeah.
His favorite, you know, places, but he has since passed,
Any,
and this is a.
I'm on the others when you are.
huh?
I'm on the others when you are.
We are at others.
Did anyone take the opportunity to read my emails?
Hello.
Which one?
Well, you had two separate emails. One was regarding a laptop and a switch. The other one was regarding the ARPA piece, which we already, I will revise again.
Yes, I
Send
I
back.
had the opportunity to read both. I don't remember the nitty gritty on the computer and switch. Do you have a total on that?
I gave you two options on each. It's all under $1,000, everything.
I would say
What's he trying to buy now?
the computer, so we don't, that one stops glitching and erasing our meetings.
Listen, John, we're already 6% and 9%.
No, he's-
I was asked to do this. I was asked to do this.
Went through our, just like we did the speakers and mics and, as you'll see, as we over here can see, but the people on the TV that were here can't. Our guy from, the TV crew
Northwest Access.
is not here any longer. That's, yeah.
And they won't be doing our recordings.
So the reason being is because John has set
Excuse me.
us up with a system that is so good, they no longer feel the need to be here. John and Brenda, because Brenda
Good
started that whole.
job.
So with this computer and switchboard, there will be no other items that are needed for the immediate 5 to 7 year future.
I did ask them for a camera, them being Northwest Access.
We
A
get it
used
given to
camera.
us, we will take it. If
That's
we have to
right.
pay for it.
I want
they
to,
can come back. for
that's
it
what I
for
said.
free.
That's what I said, don't, just put it on the record. I said, hey, if you don't have to come, we want a better camera. Do you have a used one that you can give us?
Yep, because this one seriously picks up the glare of the two people to my left.
How nice. Everyone's fuzzy.
Hey.
Focus, everyone's fuzzy.
Anyway,
So-
so I think, personal opinion again, I think they're under $1,000 for the switchboard and computer. That seems like if it saves us from having somebody come back and be like, you didn't say that, and us not having the record of it because our thing got deleted, it's well worth it.
The difference in the computers, because I give two versions. The one is the one I already purchased for the transfer of the land records and such into the NEMRIC module. The one that I proposed, the other one is a more beefier version that should help with any kind of online push that we need. Still all equals up under $1,000.
And this is ARPA monies?
That's how it would be, that's how we would pay for it, yes.
Because it is really dealing with still this stuff.
Right, so he's kind of like, yeah, you're talking. You are the tech guy.
Yes, I would pick-
I trust your judgment. I mean, you have gone over this budgetary stuff with a fine tooth comb.
Yep.
So I don't think you're frivolously spending money on a computer, especially when we're talking, what's the difference? $200?
less than $200.
Yeah.
There was something on the news tonight about them making this a permanent thing.
Yeah, yeah, they
We'll have the equipment to make it a permanent.
That's right.
thing.
will already have it in place,
Stole my
as
thunder.
long as they give us the
Oh,
time.
sorry.
Go, John, go.
Okay, I got approval?
Oh, do we need a vote on
I
that?
think we do,
I make a motion that we allow John to spend
up to.
up to $1,000 on a switch and computer using his expert technical knowledge to make the right choice for the town.
I'll second that.
That's all in the motion.
Using his what?
You forgot expert. Yeah.
Go ahead, that computer.
Made a motion for John's head to expand so he can't fit out the number.
And Lance seconded
Lance
it.
seconded that. All those in favor? say
Aye.
say aye. Here we go. What was your second? The second one was,
The ARPA for the greater, I have the instructions on what to do with the resubmit.
You haven't sent me any of that.
Because I've been working with getting the numbers right with. I will, no, I only sent it to Mac and I CC'd you because you gave me those numbers.
Oh,
I
okay.
just want to make sure it's what you want before we
Yeah.
submit.
I want to go over that with you one more
Okay.
time, just because I think that number is inflated.
I know you were talking about the wing. I take that out and it'll drop.
Because I did some unofficial crunching
Uh-huh.
and with what was in that proposal and other things that have been asked for in town, we should have been able to cover almost everything.
Okay,
So,
all right, we'll talk about that.
yep.
Okay,
You ready
So,
to get emotional one more time?
I want to make a motion, the meeting to adjourn the meeting.
I'd second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No, I want to stay.
Let the record show Terry is going to stay.